Hey, yo, whoa. Am I here? Are we here? Is this a real thing right now? Is this a real transmission? Hold on. I think I'm talking to Snake. He said, yo, he's on to you. I'm about to say, switch your disc, Snake. Like, what? Anyways, welcome back to the No Cooldown podcast, man. Episode 77 has been a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, but we are here. I'm the always tired ThatManTripp at this point. Like, this stuff is going on, but we're finally back. I got some energy today, damn it. I got some energy today because it's a very good episode. It's a return episode after a little bit of time off because the weeks have been very, very strenuous, busy between life and all these games trying to smack us upside the head and destroy our wallets. Stuff has been going on, but we got to break down some stuff. We're finally back in the groove, and of course, I got my podcast partner in crime with me. WenEazy in the building. What's happening, Wen?
Chilling, man. You know, just enjoying some good League of Legends. It is World Season, so I will be tapped into that for a bit.
I hear you, man. Definitely. I told him he's got a grip on his soul, and you know, it's might not be the good kind, depending on who you ask. It might not be the good kind.
Definitely not the good kind.
Nah, it's wild, man. And yeah, because of some time conflicts, King ain't with us this episode, but he'll be back soon. But we got a very special guest in the building. Finally. We've actually locked down a date. I feel like we've said this for like a year plus. Like, hey, let's get it in. Let's get it in. We finally gotta get it up pot. And then we're just, I blame me. That's my fault for not properly coordinating shit. But listen, let's cut all that out the way, man. The video essay extraordinaire, gaming extraordinaire. I apologize that you support, you know what I'm saying, the Falcons and all them, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay.
I needed that. But
the one, the only, Nick Tanner's in the building, man. Finally, what's happening, bro?
That is a hell of an introduction, man. Thank you so much. First off, I want to say thank you guys for having me on the No Cooldown podcast. Like you said, I've been wanting to get on this thing for a grip, man. I think Tripp has very good insights. I think Wen's a hater, but I'm just here to talk video games and hang out with my boys, man. I'm excited to be here, man. Let's talk some games. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. It's going to be a good episode for you guys, man. I'm excited. I'm just excited to be here, man. All around.
100, man. I'm excited, man. If y'all excited out there for whatever reason, whether it be Nick being on the pod, us being back, or you just want to feel excitable about something, make sure you turn that excitement into energy and turn that energy into hitting the 5 stars on this podcast, rating us on your audio podcast platforms, the Apple Podcast, Spotify for podcasts, Google Podcasts, which is getting absorbed into YouTube Music. So go to YouTube Music and rate us there. Again, all over the place, Pocket Cast, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. We're available everywhere. Again, on YouTube as well, No Cooldown Podcast, or just No Cooldown YouTube, No Cooldown Pod on Twitter, No Cooldown Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. And you know what I'm saying? Check us out. Show us some love. We got clips coming back. We got shorts coming back, segments, all that good stuff, so you don't want to miss it. Now, without further ado, we got some stories to catch up on. You know what I'm saying? Good little chunk since you've been out. But we can get right to it. Y'all ready?
Let's get into it, man. I'm excited. Again, I am excited.
Born ready.
All right, let's get to it, man. Let's start off light. We can get into the groove of things. So this was a bit of an older story from probably a week or two ago, but it seems like the bubbles finally popped on NFTs, as there was a report that went out that stated across the entire market of NFTs, 95% of it is absolutely worthless, and about 25 million people are sitting on dead assets across the entire blockchain or whatever you want to call it. But NFTs, it's sitting ducks in the water. That looks like that time has came and went, which is insane to think about, because it was like all the rage at this time last year and before. It feel like it was a long time coming. We'll go to our guest first, man. Nick, how do you feel about this news of what seems like an impossibility? How could NFTs be worthless?
I'm just as shocked as you are. Actually, not really, because I just feel like NFTs, like, we kind of knew from the grip, like, this is something that wasn't gonna last long in the industry. I mean, the hype was definitely there. Everybody had those like I've seen a few different types of NFTs. I remember one time seeing like an Ozzy Osbourne one with a bat. You see like the traditional like monkey ones with the different designs on it. But I never really understood the worth of them. And I guess now people are just kind of over it. But it was like a tradition where they were even trying to put it in video games and it just wasn't working whatsoever. I'm kind of praying on the downfall though, because the NFT stands were definitely in the Twitter DMs just trying to get me to invest in all this stuff. And it's like, whoa, we need to back it up, man. I'm, like I said, not really shocked, and hey, it is what it is, though. It doesn't really affect me. I don't think I'll. Did you ever think about buying any NFTs at all? Like anything?
Absolutely fucking not. I'm not gonna lie, by the time this stuff started really buttoning up, I ain't really have enough money to be talking about, you know what I'm saying, anything non-fungible. I needed some like some shit in my fridge. I wasn't thinking about non-fungible. So there was no reason I was investing in a picture of PNG. Like, you know what I'm getting? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't lining up like that. And it's just funny because it's just like the amount of rage and like the faux gold rush that was associated with this whole thing was just wild, because people were like, yo, you gotta get this is the future, everybody trying to get on it, blah blah blah. And I'm like, in some regards the only upside that I can really think of from that is like artists who get like artwork stolen can actually have like, again, a better footprint to hold their shit. That's like the only thing I would think was like a positive like concept that could like morph into something and be, you know, again, positively spun to have some more artist protection from motherfuckers who post stuff online or have their own art collections, because niggas do be stealing art. I ain't gonna lie, on Twitter alone over the past month, I've seen people like have threads. They were like, oh, post yourself and post your art, and several niggas have stolen art from people directly, and I'm just like, yo, what's going on?
This shit is crazy.
That's egregious. But I outside of that, what the fuck are these shits for? What are they? I can go buy a painting and sit it on my wall. I'm not gonna turn on my computer, you know what I'm saying, open a file with my NFT and put it in the top left corner while I go do my work for the day and go play Minesweeper or some shit. There's just not really any actual value outside of protecting an artist through whatever blockchain methods, blah blah blah. And again, people try to exploit it, and it just turned out to be mad fucking lame. Like, dog, like, cut that shit off.
Yep. Shout out to Dr. Disrespect.
He
wanted that shit so bad.
No lies, bro. No lies. Listen, man, that shit is ridiculous. But moving on, you know what I'm saying? We'll leave the dead to be dead. Moving on to something that's very alive. Fortnite, man. Fortnite. Not only Fortnite, the plans that they got next, on top of all the Halloween spooky stuff that was going on. They got Jack Skellington. They got Michael Myers doing a Halloween thing on piano. They doing a bunch of stuff lately. They had some shady people looking deep into the files, you know what I'm saying, the data digs, the data dumps, and all that stuff like that, for the plans that may come next. And we've got some indication that the original Fortnite map from Chapter 1 will be coming back for Chapter 4 Season 5, along with all the old guns and the stuff that you had, the equipment that were associated with that OG version. So, again, we talk about Fortnite damn near every week. Usually it's for the cosmetics, but what this is, you know, bringing back the OG with zero build, I got some thoughts in my head. But when we can go to you, bro, how do you feel about the OG map coming back for Fortnite?
You're talking about like the OG map, like from like the
very first one. Oh, the old Tilted Towers, the old, you know what I'm saying, Moisty Mire, the very OG one.
What was it called? Dusty Depot?
Yes.
Was that the spot?
Dusty, yes.
Dusty Depot was the spot. Hey, memories.
I think it'll be cool for nostalgia, but I'm not gonna lie, I feel like those maps is gonna be kind of barren. The building is what made that game really, really important. And back then you could build, like, for us and zero build like enjoyers, it's gonna be tough because I want to play it, but I know that there's gonna be a lot of open land and I'm just gonna be getting sniped. But it'll be cool for nostalgia. Like, I'll definitely be dropping a Tilted Towers. I think that's gonna be super fun, but I hope it's something that they might not let you switch between the maps, but I would like to be able to switch between the maps because I love the rails, I love the cars. Maybe if they add like the cars and the rails, like it's an augmented version of the original map, it'd be cool. But
yeah, and I think that's what it might be though. Knowing Epic, I don't think they're gonna leave it like, they're not gonna let it lie. You know what I'm saying? Like completely like OG, because I feel like that might be reductive to what they've already built with, and some of the running, vaulting, the vehicle, the vehicle traversal and stuff like that. So I feel like it'll mostly be it was like 80% OG, but then they'll probably have a couple of things on top, like the little wind trails, or a couple of things to traverse a little bit easier. But at least for me, the biggest thing is like the old equipment set. If we give everybody the old weapons, that's the most fun part to me. Give us the old bounce pad, remote explosives, the RPG, and just chill. You know what I'm saying? That'll take me right back. Again, I don't even remember where I was when it first came out, but all I remember is I was there for like I was pulling like 6-hour shifts with my brother trying to get a dub and all that. Like that's real. And it's crazy that Fortnite has nostalgia power now. You know what I'm saying? That's wild how long it's been, how Fortnite has survived from almost dying, you know what I'm saying, to completely killing another franchise from Epic. Sorry, I'm sorry, who.
Paragon.
Paragon. Yeah. If you know, you know. I was gonna say predecessor, but that's the one that's still alive. But they going from, barely surviving to killing another franchise to being one of the biggest names in the world in gaming. And it's like, it's wild to see that progression. But hey, man, bring on the OG map. Bring it on. I'm with it.
Right. If you think about it, Fortnite came out in like what? I think the hype was around maybe like 2017, 2018, maybe even a little bit sooner. That was the time where it was like, get off of work, get on and grind. And everybody was taking Snapchat pictures of their victory royales and stuff.
I got mine still saved. I got mine still saved. Yes, sir.
I just remember
3 years ago today.
The nights me and my friends would just come over and we would just take turns, pass the controller back and forth, just loading up the game back and forth. And my friend won a victory royale and we were just screaming, running through the house. But that was just like the stuff we were on. That was the excitement and the energy of getting a victory royale. Now you're just like, you kind of clap it up. You're like, hey, let's go, man.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was a flex. But I'm kind of like an old head kind of seeing this stuff. Like I kind of said the same thing with the Modern Warfare 3. They're kind of bringing back the old maps. Like, yeah, I think it's kind of cool when they bring back the old stuff, but I want to see what Fortnite could do with like adding in new stuff and letting people adapt. But I feel like they've kind of outdid their stuff. I think Fortnite's still a very popular game, so I don't think they really have anything to prove by like making new maps and new areas because they do it so frequently. So bringing back the old joints, super cool. I'm kind of curious to see, like you said, are they going to bring back old weapons, or are we just going to have to adapt with the new items that they have in there and the big open world that it was. And Fortnite's always cool to see, like cosmetic wise, like during Halloween, because they always have the best skins. Like I do not care. Like it was easy back in the day to just drop a $10 bill on a skin. Like it was nuts. Like I was buying so many Fortnite skins.
I was a Joe Schmo for like the longest time. I did not want to buy. I was trying to stand on business for the longest. I was like, I'm not buying no skin for Fortnite, no skin. And then I seen they dropped the Naruto's and the Spider-Mans. I'm like, all right, bro, y'all got me. Let me start.
Those are the newer skins though. We're talking back like in the day.
During that time, I wasn't buying none. I didn't even like level up and try to look for the John Wick joints. Like I wasn't doing none of that. I wasn't leveling up. I didn't care. I was like, yo, listen, as long as I'm playing the game, I'm cool. I was like Julius from Everybody Hates Chris, bro. I was really standing on my money. I was standing on my cheapness.
Oh my god, man! I just remember that it was me, my wife, and I think my friend Christian, and the Raven skin. It was like the purple Raven skin dropped, and we were like, "This is the first skin we buying." And we all spent the $20 bill, and we got the little bundle, and we thought we were so sweet. We felt so tough. We felt so tough running into lobbies just to get a build on and stuff.
Cranking 90s on your head top.
Yeah, like the G Fuel kids, man. The G Fuel kids.
Damn builders. That's why I'll never go back to that godforsaken game mode. The fucking build. Anyways, we can move on to the next one though. So the Don't Nod team, basically the people who are making Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, they've decided to delay that game out of this fall and into February 2024, citing an intense AAA release cycle over the holidays this year. So I feel like this is one of the first times where it's been explicitly said that a company delays a game due to like there's heavy game congestion around the fall. Like, bro, we're not sitting in there. So I wanted to bring this back to Nick. How do you feel about them just straight up saying, yo, there's too many games going on and y'all got some crazy shit. We're just gonna move. We're just gonna slide.
So smart. Like, I mean, 2023 has just been so freaking packed, man. You're not going to compete with the Tears of the Kingdom. And, like, even at that fact, Starfield, even though the reviews and people taking it is just not that great, but you have, like, even Forza dropping. Like, you have, like, to some people, you may not be like that's even like the super stack titles, but like that's just me saying moderate titles that may rank better than Banishers in general. I think Banishers is a cool idea. The story looks cool. The combat, it could be a little iffy, but like, hey, I say push it back, kind of touch up everything you can, make it a little bit more interesting, because this year is just stacked. Like, I think it's just kind of in the bag with like the top 6 nominees. You got like Baldur's Gate, Tears of the Kingdom, Starfield. I mean, hell, even like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, like they could be up there for like game of the year. This year is just way too packed, and with some of the games that came out this year too, like I think like Assassin's Creed just came out. Assassin's Creed is even kind of just looking like it was good, but if it dropped in 2024, it might have been better, just because everything that's coming out this year is just so overwhelming that everything else just looks kind of crap.
So I hear it.
I'm down with the honesty though. I'm down with the honesty, bro. Just
yeah,
be honest.
no, I agree with that 1000%. Like I would much rather just tell us straight up, like, hey, we're gonna delay, or I would love for them to push shit forward instead of delaying, because I think that would be smarter at times. But I think it's also just like, it's a nasty business right now, because you can't, as a small company, or even a smallish company, even like a double A company, like you can't really just sit there and be like, hey, Grand Theft Auto, when are you dropping? We just kind of want to avoid all of that. Like, you can't really ask them, they're not gonna tell you. And like, if they decide, yo, we're doing a surprise drop today, like Mortal Kombat got announced and dropped in the same year.
Yep.
You can't compete with that on September. Like, you can't do anything about that. So it's really tough for certain companies to really make a move. And honestly, like, you really only have 2 options when you're gonna put in that position. You can either delay it and come out in a year that you're able to, and be like, yo, I'm gonna just come out this time around. I'm gonna just come out on this like cycle, and that way I have less competition. Or you can go on Game Pass and just make your game essentially free.
Yeah.
But not everybody wants to do that, because they think that, hey, my game doesn't need to be on Game Pass. I think it's really good. I just know I can't beat Spider-Man, so I just want to push it back just a little bit.
Yeah, if another game company out there has some foresight for a game called Titanfall 2, we maybe would have seen a third, and just some thoughts, just some random shower thoughts. But this is the good of this, and this is the bad of this for me. The good of this is I'm so glad, again, there's transparency fully, where it's like, yo, listen, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Do y'all see October? The company's not even playing with y'all. Like, do y'all see what October looks like? Am I a joke? Am I a joke to you? We're moving out of there. Like, clear out. I'm just gonna, again, get rid. Don't worry about it. Move on. The problem here is they moved to February 13th. Now, I'm not no rocket scientist, but so far, that's probably still it's not as bad as October, but it's not a great month either, because Homeworld 3 comes out, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League comes out, but again, Suicide Kill Justice League not gonna be, I don't know what it's gonna be like, but it's still a WB title. People still might be looking out for it. Hold on. It's just a congestion. Let me get to the point. It's just a congestion. Let me get through it. Hold on. So hold on. It's Homeworld 3. It's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Persona 3 Reload comes out on the 2nd. Helldivers 2 comes out on the 8th. Tomb Raider Remastered. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Nightingale, which is the other one, smaller one, might not be as crazy Clash, but still it's there. And Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out at the end of that month. So it's like you jumped in. You know what I'm saying? You jumped out of this like snake pit to almost jump into a bear trap. You know what I mean? It's like, or whichever one's less dangerous. I don't know whichever one you want to prioritize or itematize, but it's just like, damn, you jumped into like another month. They couldn't put you in March. Like, March is like nowhere near as much. They could have just put you at the top of March and life would have been easier. But I don't know what the thought was there to jump out of a hectic month to go to the only known hectic month in 2024. That's a little bit tough.
I think the issue is just like, if they push it back too far, their game will be the little hype. And it's not, I don't want to sound like a dick. There's not a lot of hype for the game as of right now. We know of it, but like, if they push it back too far, it's going to become irrelevant, and it's going to spend more money on marketing, because now their marketing budget that was supposed to be up until like this time around, right, now needs to be used later towards February, January, to remind people like, hey, this game is coming out, so remember to tap in with us. Right. Like, now that money is like being spread apart. And if you move it back too far,
Mhm.
you're not gonna have enough money to keep yourself relevant for that long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it
I hear you.
sucks. Maybe they just realize like we can't push it back further than February because we need to make a deadline. For all we know, they were lucky enough to even be able to push it out at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah, I hear you. I hear you. It's a catch-22. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to still be feasible and like and I think there's like the behavioral sense of like, okay, when are people gonna buy games? Because like I feel like for kids and like younger people, March is like spring break time and like maybe a break time for people where they may be going somewhere. So like, that could play a decision as like what behavioral things they're looking into for a release date. So you know, we never know. So hopefully they have a good launch. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping the best for them. You know what I'm saying? Will I be picking up in February? I don't know.
That's the thing is like I think the game looks very good, but like I don't think people are losing a lot of sleep if it does get pushed back. And that's not an insult to the game, but I feel like there's just so much stuff that's coming out, man. Like
Summer
just a like
game drops. I'm advocating for it. I'm putting up the picket fence. Come on, man! Just drop a game in the summer, damn it!
Remember
Exactly.
that game?
Remember how this game just
came out,
casually
like,
swept up and became one of the best games of this generation, just by launching in the summer. It's crazy to think.
No comp at all.
Like, oh my goodness, y'all need to figure it out, bro. You need to follow somebody lead. That's all I'm saying.
true.
It's ridiculous. But anyways, we can slide into this next story here really quickly. This week we got the reveal of the new PS5 model that launched in November. It has a detachable disk drive option in addition to the digital one. It has about 30% smaller frame, and you know it's about 30% smaller than the OG one. And now the OG is going to be discontinued. So again, same price points. I'm pretty sure. How we feel about the new design? I'll throw it to Nick.
I don't really, it's not like I really have a problem with it. I just think everything that they're doing with it, like the attachments and stuff like that, really doesn't add up to me. But like I'm a physical game connoisseur, man. I like buying my games. I like having physical copies versus digital unless it comes out on Game Pass, but whatever. I was blessed to get my PlayStation pretty early in its when it got released. So I don't have to worry about that. But for people that are buying a PS5 like now, if you want it, it's there. But like I wouldn't trade in my old PS5 to get something like this.
Nope.
I just don't see like it's. You said it's the same price, or
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same price point. And you know the craziest thing is, it just made me realize how much blood, sweat, and tears I put into getting this thing. Got this damn PS5. I was up at like 5 a.m. putting in shifts on the Target website, putting in shifts on the Walmart website. They're trying to order this damn thing. What? Right. Nah, son. I'm not. Man, y'all must be high, bro.
The only thing is with this, man. I just hope they make it a lot more easier to get versus like if they could use this to push out more PS5s to make them easier to like.
Yeah, 100%.
I think on the Black Fridays and stuff.
I think
everybody could get some. Yeah, like that's all it is to me, man. But I mean, can't be me because I got my PS5. So.
Mm-hmm. I hear
can't be me.
Yeah, I got mine. I bought it with a bundle with Horizon. Still haven't beat either of those games.
Definitely.
Because
you don't play games, bro. You don't play games.
I play games I like to play. I play a variety of different bangers of my choosing. Thank you very much.
He said top shelf only. Top shelf only. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But
that Switch got in more work than the PS5 recently, bro.
It actually does. That's not even a lie. That's actually a fact. And that's Sony. Step your game up. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
If I'm playing the Switch
who's that an indictment on? I'll let you decide.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, yeah. I like that I like the slim model. It looks sick.
Yeah, no, honestly. Real quick, before we get to this next one, I know we had this little ad hoc talk before we went on. I definitely wanted to throw it in. Yeah, see, I haven't played it. I'm probably gonna get to it, but it's like my backlog. But we had some conversation around Lies of P. You know what I'm saying? That's been out for a couple of weeks now, and you know there's been some talk around it, around the Soulsborne genre in general, whether people are fully tired of it or not. Again, Lords of the Fallen came out today as well. I just want to throw it to y'all. Again, I don't know if you touched it or you haven't. You're just like, man, fuck that. Or
nah, I'm not playing that shit. There's like very little chance that I even download the game. As far as getting past the tutorial, like very much unlikely. It's nothing to do with Lies of P itself. I'm sure the game is great. Nick will talk about it. He's a big fan of it, I suppose. Me personally, I don't have the time to play that shit. Like I've played so many I need to beat Elden Ring. I'm tired of these Souls-like games. If it would have been anything different, I'd have been like, yo, sick. I'm definitely gonna tap in. I want parts. But it's another Souls-like. I've already played enough of those games. I'm happy with dodging with iframes. Like, I'm good. No, thank you.
Yeah, not here. But yeah, on the opposite side of the spectrum, we have Nick Tanner, who seems to feel well about it.
Here's a more reliable source on the line.
That's crazy.
Listen up, everybody. Turn up your volumes on your phones real quick. So, Liza P is actually a very fun game. So, like, the first impressions I had of the game, the demo came out, I think maybe like 3 or 4 months before it actually got released, and they let you play 2 hours within the game, and I thought it was really fun. It's basically the closest you can get to Bloodborne without it being Bloodborne. It has to deal with a lot of puppets and a lot of these like animatronic type enemies, but I think the game just feels really good. For like being a Soulsborne, it feels very good. I definitely like the combat and the cosmetics being completely just cosmetic. You don't have to worry about stats with stats when it comes to like putting on a helmet you like, or like an outfit that you like, you're kind of feeling, and the amount of different weapons and blade and handle attachments you have is just super fun. I've been playing like 6-7 hours of it, and I've just been completely enjoying it. I think that sometimes this game could like be better than Bloodborne. Like, I'm liking it that much. That's a really hot take, but I think just like the story in general and just the way that it looks and how it's running on my Xbox Series S too, which I rarely play games on my Series S unless it is a Game Pass game, but it does look very good and runs very good for the amount of frames that you're gonna need to run the game. But I definitely think that Liza P should be a game you guys should pick up, especially if you guys got Game Pass. Like, you're just taking the risk of downloading it at that point.
But what if it messes up my hard drive?
Can we get a serious question?
All right.
It's worth the risk.
Fair.
It's worth the risk.
Fair play.
It's super good. It is super good. One of the things I will highlight too before we go on to the next topic, you know how in Elden Ring they kind of had like the intruders or those little boss fights that were bosses, but they kind of felt like they moved like how your character moved.
Oh, invaders.
So they have a lot of fights like this in this game, and I really do love those fights. Those are like some of my favorite fights to actually have, just because they just feel nice to have, I guess. It sounds weird, but like I just really like having those fights in the game, and it's nice. It's nice. Play Liza P, and I'll cash in the check later.
Yeah, wow. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the top tier shilling we've heard today. You know what I mean? Like, this is unreal shilling. Unreal.
I'm praising Liza P, man. It should be up for Game of the Year for sure.
Oh, wow, that's some.
I think so. That like if it's not gonna win, but I think it cracks like the nominees. I think it cracks the nominees.
We'll revisit that towards the end of the show. I'm gonna remind me about this conversation track specifically at the end of the show.
I didn't know no cooldown keeps receipts. Maybe I should take back my statement.
I'm just saying. Just remind me. We're gonna. I just want to revisit. That's all. Nothing crazy. You ain't on trial.
All right. The tea will be hot when we want to touch about it.
Oh man. But speaking of Game of the Year contenders and caliber games, bro, we got another trailer for PalWorld from Tokyo Game Show 2023 last month, and I think they have outdone themselves, y'all. They showing off everything from character creation to multiplayer to weapon play to more of the base building, all the other game elements, the flying, the different powers you're gonna have, the different missions, all this stuff. PalWorld's looking crazy. If they don't get a cease and desist, it's looking good. It's looking good, bruv. So listen, Wen, walk me through it, man. How you feel?
This game looks nuts. It actually looks really, really dope. I saw it, and when I first saw it, I'm like, bro, this has to be fake. There's no way this game right here is real. And I'm happy to report that it looks like I am wrong. I'm very happy to be wrong in this sense. This game looks dope. It looks exactly like the first trailer I saw of it, and I'm really happy that it does. The combat looks fun. It's a third-person shooter. Like, it's gonna be fine as long as you got like something cool to shoot at, and you're fighting other mods. Like, I shouldn't say mods. Let's not do that because we want to get them shut down.
Pals.
I'm shooting other pals. Like, it looks pretty dope, man. I genuinely cannot wait for this game. I'm a fan of like Stardew Valley. I'm a fan of like Fortnite. There's so many games that I like to play. This looks like a merger between so many different franchises. I am a big fan of Pokemon, but in recent years, I've literally been pretty bored with the genre. And there have been games that have done the Pokemon genre in a pretty cool light, like Cassette Beast or even, Moonstone Island is a game that I'm playing right now. That's like Pokemon and Stardew had a baby.
Yeah, Temtem had a sauce for a little bit.
Temtem. There's another one like Monster Sanctuary. There's a lot of really good Pokemon-like games.
Dragon Quest Treasures.
Yeah, no, it was really. Oh, Dragon Quest Treasures is actually another banger. And it's just like the reason that these games are cool isn't because they're just another Pokemon clone. It's because they take the same thing that you do in Pokemon and you do something different with it. Monster Hunter Stories, another really good one. And I think that this is another iteration of like we're taking something that you loved as a kid and adding elements to it that we know the people who own the IP will never do. Like you're not gonna get fucking people shooting at Pikachu. You're never gonna get that. You're not gonna get certain aspects. They'll add a little like, oh, farming, yeah, plant a berry and it'll grow eventually. Like, yeah, sure, cool, whatever. All right, cool. But like you're not getting like the kind of content that PalWorld looks to be showing to people. Like they're really out here trying to show you like, yo, we're doing something hella different on this side.
Yeah, hella different indeed. I'm watching this clip of these little green monsters manufacturing guns.
Sweatshops confirmed, baby. Sweatshops confirmed. Let's go.
Like that's hard. That's hard.
Right off the rip though, when I was watching the trailer, it kind of reminds me of like I might be a stretch. Like kind of feels like Square Enixy, like with the graphics and stuff like that. But I do like the whole animal mon thing. I don't know how I feel about them getting shot. That's just me personally.
I feel great.
I think
as long as I'm doing the shit.
This is groundbreaking. Like, this is what the people need, right? Like,
That's
but
right,
no, I've been a fan of this game when I saw it when it first released. I'm kind of like, it looks like the story's gonna be really in depth. There's a lot going on, but hopefully this trailer just isn't the highlight and that the game kind of runs like crap. But like, other than that, I think the mons look really. There we go again, saying mons. The pals look really cool, and I just want to see what the gameplay is like. It looks like it has everything from customized character customization and multiplayer and stuff. So,
bro,
yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. Like if you guys are trying to fly in,
co-op PalWorld. Co-op PalWorld sounds fucking lovely and lovely.
Co-op sweatshops,
bro. Co-op sweatshops, the joint merger.
We're gonna get so much done with so little money.
Let's go. This is the gaming I've been waiting on my whole life. If you don't facts, if you ain't want to own sweatshops that are run by pseudo Pokemon, you ain't been living. You ain't been living. Just want to let you know that right now. But now, seriously though, I ain't gonna lie. Again, off the rip. When I first saw this game, I was like, yo, they're going to get absolutely destroyed by the Pokemon company. They're going to get fucked up. This is not good, but it looks fantastic. And now that we're closer to the game and it's getting shown off at Tokyo Game Show and it's had enough differentiable, you know what I'm saying, characteristics to where they can stand on their own too and not get cease and desisted by Pokemon, I can fully say this is one of the games I'm most excited for next year. Like 100%.
No, for sure.
Like
I want to know how you
out.
catch them. I want to know how you catch them because
I think they do have like in the clips they do have like a PAL ball or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We can't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They had something there. I saw like one of the persons or the tamers were using them and had it. So I'm just super excited to get into this, bro. And I'm just wondering like how the scale is. Is it like a full like how big is the open world? You know what I'm saying? With that, how are the towns and the NPCs and like the story roughly set up? Because it seems like there is roughly a story here. So I'm excited, bro. This game is 100% like with no BS. This is one of the most exciting games I've been looking at over the past like year and change. Like dead ass. It's been up there with like what's it called? Black Myth Wukong for me. Like it's been in that same ballpark. Yeah. It's been in that same listing of just like, yo, 2024 is gonna be a good year. And I think I could be wrong, but I think this is coming out January if all things hold true. So off the rip, we might be getting this. This might catch my attention early. It might catch the, you know what I'm saying, the whole world by storm very, very early in the year. I'm with it. I'm with it, man.
They're gonna have to push their game back even more.
Move it to next February, managers. Move it to next February.
came out. 2025 is our year.
Yeah, they haven't announced a date, and that's really what's like kind of annoying. It's like I want to play this tomorrow. Like I want to play
We've
this right
heard
now.
about this game for the longest. It feels like we've heard about this game for like 2 years now. I might be wrong, incorrect.
No, you're right. It's about 2.
It's been a while.
Okay, they said
it's been a while.
Yeah, they said January 2024. Okay, they said January 2024. Not a date exactly, but they said at least give the month.
January. Whoa, that's hard. That's a sick month for gaming. Gaming will never be the same.
Off the rip.
Starting hot. I love it.
Oh my gosh, bro. This is almost disgusting how much good stuff is going to come out. This follow through from 2023 to 2024 is going to be nasty.
Digging all these.
We're getting this. We're getting Tekken in January. Like it's an insane month. It's an insane month. What's it called? Like a Dragon. Infinite Wealth is coming out end of January.
Is also that's 3 games already that I have to buy day 1. Deluxe edition, collector's edition.
Dog, it's looking crazy, bro. But PalWorld, I'm over the moon for. I can't wait. All right, moving forward here, with dates being announced roughly for some games, it seems like others are starting to really backpedal as word surfaced from the dev team behind Kxngviii that they'll be indefinitely delaying this game. They've been citing some inconsistencies in the process that they got to fix up and get right before their preseason rollout. But yeah, they're indefinitely delayed. How are we feeling about this? I'll throw it to Wen.
Wow. Didn't see this coming. Yeah, the Call of Duty clone that didn't capture the Call of Duty audience is not doing so hot. I am gonna say this game was kind of okay. It was cool because it was free. I'm not really sad about it. I like that somebody's trying to do the Call of Duty thing though. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to Combat Masters too. That's a really good game. But it's just one of those things where it's like it's sad because it's like, oh man, we still got to deal with like Call of Duty being the only one to have a chokehold on this genre, I guess. But I don't even really want to call it genre because it's so vague. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see, but it's not really something it's unexpected from me. I feel like for Ubisoft, like, and no knock to Ubisoft, I feel like for them to really want to do this kind of a genre right, they have to put way more effort into it day 1. Like day 1, this needs to be packed with content. It needs to be good, like solid, smooth. It needs to feel great. You can't just step into this lane and expect to grow in it, right? Because the people who play this genre, the people who play these multiplayer shooters, they got one game that they've been playing for literally decades. Yep. They don't really plan on leaving because that would mean they would have to convince everyone in their friend group to leave, and they're not very keen on change. So shout out to them for trying this. I still think they have a shot, but I think that they definitely need to make sure that if you're going to indefinitely delay this and actually bring it back and ready to go, y'all need to sit there and come up with a solid plan and come up with solid content. Because if not, you are going to be dead in the water.
Yeah. I hear it, man. Nick, you get a chance to even like touch Kxngviii a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I played Kxngviii when it was in beta mode, and I was actually really excited to try it out, but I had a lot of problems trying to load into games, and it was like the server issues were pretty bad, so my experience kind of sucked with it. It's trying to take what they think the Call of Duty community wants and put it in its own game. So it's that arena shooter, but they try to make it a lot more fast-paced. They try to add different like operators and different abilities in the game that people may have thought they wanted, kind of just like a faster feeling to the game. And I think they succeeded with that. And the Call of Duty community, I feel like, is just like a hard audience to try and please, though, too, because they'll get super excited for a game as soon as it drops to say, oh, this is it. This is going to change. Everything's going to be great. And then, like, a few months down the road, they wish that they had Advanced Warfare again, or they wish that Cold War was back. So it's kind of a hard audience to try and, like, pinpoint to, like, compete against as well. Plus, I mean, I don't know when they planned on releasing this game, but you have Modern Warfare 3 that's coming out in the next month.
Yeah, it was originally planned for October, I believe, if memory serves me right. It was sometime in October.
Yeah, and we remember like when Titanfall 2 dropped, when it tried to drop around the Call of Duty days, what happened? And I think they picked the right decision to kind of push it back.
Titanfall did not die because of Call of Duty. I'll tell you that. They died because of Call of Duty and Battlefield.
I feel like I feel like Titanfall 2 was probably ahead of its time, though.
Very.
I think it was very ahead of its time, and
Yeah.
it wasn't really appreciated until like the people that did play Titanfall 2 at first, and then you kind of get these fast-paced games, like you get the Apexes and stuff like that. But like the game's literally Apex plus more.
Yeah, let's put the debut of this, you know, this 10 out of 10 perfect show in between the Oscars and the Super Bowl, which happening on the same 24-hour period. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do that. Like,
What was
job.
the other game? It was Call of Duty, and then there was another game that got sandwiched.
It was literally Battlefield. It was literally Battlefield. The two biggest shooters of that year in terms of size and just, you know, the general brands. Like, why?
And the issue wasn't that like Battlefield, because everybody knows Battlefield 1 was very different from. It's very different from Call of Duty, and it's very different from
Titanfall.
But the reason is because it's the same issue that Define has. You're trying to capture an audience of people who do not want to leave their favorite genre.
We don't care about anything else. And why would you get us to care about something else during the most peak time? We're not going to care about anything else. Why would you do that? It's beyond me, man. But yeah, my 2 cents on XDefiant. This might be a theme this episode, but just drop in the summer, dog. Give us some games in the summer. I think it could work. I think it could work.
Like how you're saying, like release it like a little bit later. I mean, like release it like let Modern Warfare 3 run its course. You got like maybe 5-6 months down the road.
Give me a June 10th. Give me a June 10th.
And then when people are ready to switch it up, they're tired of playing on Rust 24/7, or they're tired of playing on Terminal like every match and getting sniped like 360 quick scoped and have someone montage. Like then that game XDefiant can come out. But I think it's cool for it to wait.
I think you guys are giving Call of Duty a little bit too much grace, because I wouldn't even say 6 months. I would say 3 months. I would say in 3 months you got.
No, I've seen the trend, man. Like everybody gets super excited about it, and it looks like Call of Duty's going back to its old roots, and that's cool and all. But like people think they want that, and then they're gonna be like, I'm tired of playing on Terminal every map, or I'm tired of playing like it's gonna be the same stuff. This is broken. Like, it's the same thing with Call of Duty and 2K have the same communities. They just cry about everything, and then they try to fix it, and then the game just gets worse and worse and worse over time. Like, you guys generally just make the game worse yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think with them, if they released it before a huge update, like, or after that huge update fucks up the game, because I genuinely think if they would have released it even like March, for me, I think that shit would be better. Because I think once you get past the hump of like the 3 month mark, and people are kind of like, because I think Call of Duty really does think they have a lot of content in their games, but people run through it so fast. After 1 month of Call of Duty, I was bored with it. So like people who actually really enjoy the game, I think they're pretty much tapped out after 3. I think that's a better timeline, but I also think that 6 months is probably way safer for them.
I think, March.
I don't think that they have enough content to really be able to compete if Call of Duty happens to have something in the cut. Like if they drop and then they're like, oh, we got a little update, like, you guys are clapped. You guys got nothing.
One new gun.
Like
it's to find server 7 people. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think March 8th will be a good solution. Me, again, I'm full advocate for the summer, but if you want to do that lead up as well, that could work. That could definitely work.
Are you guys paying for
it's a free game. It's a free game.
No, 1,000%.
XDefiant is free.
Okay,
only people who are gonna get away with multiplayer shooters that are paid at this point in time is Call of Duty. That's the only people who can pull it off anymore, because nobody is paying for multiplayer shooters when games like Overwatch, Apex. Like, I'd rather learn to enjoy a battle royale than pay $60 to play a multiplayer shooter. And that's like I think a lot of people, because you could go into Fortnite, find a multiplayer shooter map that has customs or whatever,
literally,
and they're gonna find a million
like
people on it.
I like the arena shooter at sometimes, but you have to change it. You have to change it and make it some sort of like special for it to really work. Like I remember it was like Outbound, I think the game was called. It was like the arena shooter in space. Like that could be something I could get behind. Like, but when we're coming around,
I know you're talking about.
But when we're coming around to just like it feels like the same thing, or just like a Modern Warfare clone or a Call of Duty clone, it's like, man, like I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. Like.
Yeah, I hear it, man. Shit, wow. But moving forward, we had some news, whether it be sudden and unfortunate, honestly. The co-founder and legendary developer by the name of Hideki Kamiya has left Platinum Games. Now, there's no clue on what's next for either party, but the impact is going to be felt on both sides for years to come. He actually recently started a YouTube channel like this week, just doing random stuff, and apparently he can't join or develop another game really for reasons. So I suspect it's probably a non-compete clause, and what many have suspected, just a non-compete clause for a year to join any other studio or team or whatever. So he's kind of doing his own thing in the meantime. But yeah, Nick, how you feel about this?
This breaks my heart, man. I'm a big fan of the Bayonetta series. I finished Bayonetta 3 this year, and I'm actually working on Bayonetta 1 and 2 as we speak. And I feel like the man, he puts out great work, and I feel like the Bayonetta series was like a really good series for me, and it was very nice. And I think he's a mastermind at work that a lot of people may not really appreciate. Or just may not know, just because he's not like a major name, but like until like he actually got fired or not fired, but like departing to where people were like, oh, who's like this guy? I don't know what's gonna happen for the future, which kind of stinks because we are looking for, like, if anybody's played Bayonetta 3, they kind of expect that there is going to be a Bayonetta 4 and probably some more stuff in the future. So it kind of worries me about how that's going to change up for that series in general. Like, are they going to take a different route, or are they just going to stop making the games in general? I don't know. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It's just kind of sad news, though, because I enjoyed Bayonetta 3, and now seeing this type of news, I'm like, man, it stinks.
Yeah, I hear it, man. When and any thoughts on Kamiya? You know what I'm saying, dipping out of there.
Personally, I'm kind of whatever about it. It sucks because he did make Bayonetta, phenomenal game. But I also hear he's kind of a dick, and this is all from Twitter, so it could also be completely false. But like, I know a lot of people are saying like he blocks people who have different opinions than him. Which is like hilarious because it's just so funny. It's like,
sounds like a typical like Twitter user though.
Yeah,
like...
no, for sure, it definitely does. I don't know what this means for Platinum. Until they make another Vanquish, I'm pretty checked out with the company. Makes phenomenal games. He's gonna be missed because I think he's one of the few people who will make games like Bayonetta, and I think that combat style is super underutilized in this market. I think we need more games like Bayonetta, like Devil May Cry, things like that. It feels fresh. It's fun. It's not rolling 30 minutes for me to get one attack in. Really sad to see him go, but I'm sure that he's gonna come back with a couple bangers. Hopefully he doesn't do a Kickstarter campaign and release some garbage, because that seems like a trend when people leave companies and start a Kickstarter. They fund their spiritual successor to their old games. Game comes out and it's bad. I hope that's not what happens, but wishing him the best, and hopefully he gets picked up by a good studio, because hey, him as a free agent, I'd scoop. Capcom, hey, I'm looking at you.
I hear it, man. Listen. The game is changing. The landscape has changed a little bit. And speaking of the landscape changing, unfortunately, sometimes it will change for the worst. As the Embracer Group, those guys who acquired a bunch of people, they're expecting more studio closures and layoffs following some more reductions at Crystal Dynamics and MythForce. So yeah, there's that. So just to kind of throw it back to you, Wen, how you feel about Embracer's plan to try and save their money?
Embracer's a bunch of broke babies. They definitely thought that they were gonna come in here, scoop up all this stuff, and they just print money. L Company, L Group, L Embracer, they need to next time get a better accountant. I don't know what's going on over there. Like they just thought video games print money. I'm sorry, but a lot of games flop, and a lot of them don't make that money back. I don't know what the plan for, like, I feel bad for all these people who are in these companies and are being laid off. And I hope you guys get jobs at a company that doesn't treat you like trash. Honestly, bro, shit is trash, man. Nick, you picked up on any of this Embracer stuff or not?
No, I haven't really read up on it, but like I'm kind of agreeing with Wen. Like a lot of time these video games, like you think you can just put out a game and it's just like the money's just gonna flow in. But I mean, if you can't keep an audience, and it's like a lot of people are going the microtransaction routes, but it seems like these games really don't. So like you're only gonna get that one-time buy, and then it's like that's where your money is. It sucks. Like I hate seeing the word layoff in any like situation, because these are people's jobs, what they go to school for. It's what they work so hard for. So seeing that kind of stinks for the people that work there. But yeah, L Company, not very happy about it. So.
I hear it, man. And sliding on to, all right, let's just talk about this one. And probably one of the biggest points of the latest waves of layoffs, speaking of, and shutdowns in gaming. Yeah, we've been experiencing a lot of different shutdowns just because of the economy and stuff. Naughty Dog announced a couple of weeks ago that they're laying off 25 staff. But what's more to that is that Naughty Dog have announced that the reduction in staff has affected development of The Last of Us Factions multiplayer spin-off, as they've placed the project on ice for now. So, yeah, Nick, I'm gonna throw it to you for this one, man. Before I lose my mind, you can put some context and color in there. How you feel about it?
Oh man, I hated seeing this news, man, because this was a multiplayer that I was kind of getting my hopes up for too. It feels like it's been talked about for a decent amount of time lately, and it kind of sucks that now we're seeing the fact of all these like studios and stuff that they can't afford to keep some of these staff members, and they're getting laid off, and now it's affecting the time that these games are going to get pushed back and stuff like that. It's not completely canceled or anything, so I mean, there's definitely a positive in that. But I mean, this was something that I feel like PlayStation really needed too, because a good multiplayer game would be really nice for Naughty Dog to put out. Because I mean, think about it, they've had just like The Last of Us 1, 2, and I can't really think of anything else they've recently put out. Like, do you guys like what's the last thing they put out, Naughty Dog?
The TV show.
That's it, like the show, which is doing really successful, but I think a lot of people were looking at this multiplayer to be something very nice and something different from them. So it kind of does stink.
When do you care or no?
Not really.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the layoffs for sure.
Hater.
But like, I just didn't play The Last of Us Factions, so like, when people are like, "Oh no," like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not playing. Like I said before, I'm not playing shooters on consoles. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So this multiplayer game would have been cool, but like I said earlier in the podcast, if it's not free up, there's a good chance I'm not paying for a multiplayer shooter. And I know it's not a multiplayer shooter, but I really doubt I'm gonna plug my PlayStation in and be like, yo, let's get into this online action. Like, I just don't see myself playing it. Maybe if it was on PC too, then there's a different conversation. Because I genuinely think multiplayer games need to be on both a console and on PC. It needs crossplay in this day and age for it to survive. Look at Destruction All-Stars. That game, I think, would have been way better if they actually had it on more than just console. Especially a console that was so hard to get at the time too. Like, the game was set up for failure. But how you would have put that on a PC? I don't know. It would have got a little bit more traction than it did.
My thing with it though is like kind of how I was saying is like I'm not the biggest fan of playing shooters on my console either, but it adds a little bit of variety of what PlayStation usually does. I feel like they're really good in like the solo, like single player genres.
Yeah.
Like you have Ghost of Tsushima, banger. You have like the Ratchet and Clanks, banger. Last of Us, banger. Like, but these are all single player games. Like, I think they need to try and expand and have a game that's just for the PlayStation for now until they feel like they want to release it to PC randomly. But just have that type of game where it's like, okay, multiplayer, maybe throw in a few microtransactions. I know it's like a weird, like if they could, and like release a whole bunch of content to just kind of like
that's what
keep people happy. Because like think about it, like we kind of talked about the PS5, and it's like mine truly is collecting dust until we get that Spider-Man 2. I haven't really touched it because there ain't really been stuff out. But if they have a game like that where it keeps you want to keep on playing your PlayStation after you beat the Spider-Mans, the Horizons, which like, come on, let's get back in it, bro.
Oh god.
Horizons, let's get back to it, bro. Get the duster out. It's time. But like, that's just how I feel with it. So like, it's adding more of a variety. It's not like I'm super excited to like, oh, I gotta play like a third-person shooter, or it's probably gonna be third person, I think. But it's like, I'm not super excited, but I just like that Sony's just trying to branch out. So
and I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I do think I want more shooters on the PlayStation and on the PC, because I will always stand on that, just because I see the life that like Fortnite got when it became crossplay, and I feel like that's really when it just shot up to a crazy superstardom. But the one issue that I just genuinely have with this like branch, I don't even want to call it a franchise, like how would they have made their money? And it's like, if it's not free to play, like you're gonna charge $20. How many people are really gonna be tapping into this for $20 or like $20? I'd pay for it. I wouldn't mind a $20, but like, how much are they really gonna charge for a this factions game, right? I'm not surprised that this is the first thing on the chopping block, especially when layoffs are happening. But I definitely do agree that Naughty Dog needs to do more than just Last of Us and Uncharted, which is just Last of Us with more bullets. Like I think they do need to like absolutely expand there because they could do a lot more. And there's franchises that they could bring back or franchises that they could start working on that would be cool to see from them.
They're already talking about remaking The Last of Us 2, and it's like we don't want to hear that. Like that's the last thing. Like remake what?
We're gonna get to that in a second. That's gonna piss me off. But let me chime in here. And first of all, let me open by saying my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Just wanted to let that out there. I just wanted to just play faction multiplayer. Is that too much to ask? Is it too much? Is it really like I wanted to have faith and believe in this, but why does everything I believe in terms of gaming just get like absolutely fucking muddied? Why? This is just it's not even like their fault. It's just an existential crisis I'm having with games that I anticipate and enjoy. Why do they always get thrown to the gulag when it comes to their development cycles? Like why couldn't it just be a smooth, calm process? Why? Just once would be nice. It'd be cool. Like actually anticipating from the jump. Pisses me off and it throws me into a pit of despair. But let me get back to the topic. There's I agree with 100% what you said, and I will go further and say Sony already knows this, and there's an appetite to get live service games stockpiled at Sony over the next few years. And I feel like a part of them buying Bungie, and kind of keeping that deal where Bungie gets to still publish their own shit, but they're still under PlayStation's thing, is to learn how to run live service stuff, because that's not in their wheelhouse. Sony doesn't have that in their bag, and their investments in first party stuff over the next few years, and Jim Ryan's already said he's made investments into first party things, first party games and all that stuff like that before he leaves out. That's already on track, and the majority of that you can already bet it's going to be live service, how to keep people engaged with the PlayStation platform outside of the single player powerhouse that they've already built. They've already got one side of the house down, but then their multiplayer, their live service stuff, it's not good. It's lacking. It's either third party or it stinks. So they need to find a way to do it, and I feel like, again, Last of Us Factions was a premier way to try and get that done. The problem is Naughty Dog, I think, doesn't have the bandwidth, or they don't have the level of depravity, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to sink they don't want to go low. They don't want to go low. I don't think there's a feasible way for them to make the game live service without making it stretch into some weird way. So they're not going to go there. You know what I mean? It's not in their wheelhouse. It's not in their wheelhouse to do any live games as a service or live service type of offering. And I'm pretty sure there was some point Jason Schreier was reporting like there was people doing internal reports and stuff on the project to see how viable it can be with the paid service and what might need to work. And they were struggling. They were struggling to find any right path to make the game, again, a paid effort or some type of monetization model added into it. There was already difficulty. So that was problem number one. And two, you add on all these layoffs and stuff. If you look at Naughty Dog, you can already bet what's the first thing to go? The new things that haven't been fully vetted yet. The tried and true things, they're gonna keep to the moon, because Sony's like, yo, you're in the cash cow seat now. You better not move. You better wait until something else come out. You better sit your ass right there. You're not gonna move. Whatever we got planned for you, Last of Us Part 3, Part 2, redo, remastered. You know what I'm saying? Remade in the third act. Redo. All that stuff is, you need to stay right there. But that new stuff over there, that faction multiplayer, toss that. So it's a very, very unfortunate situation and an unfortunate mix of Naughty Dog's not fully capable of converting Last of Us into that fully live service model that can be sustainable. One, two, the incentive again to do it is not being met by their capability from their higher ups. And three, the market is just saying, hey, you gotta shrink down. We gotta shrink down the team, and the most likely cuts, like you guys said, is gonna be to this team. So it disappoints me. I have lost 95% of my faith in this thing even seeing the light of day at this point, and I would not be surprised if it's fully canceled in the months to come. Honestly, it sucks. I hate it. I wish everything would be great and kosher and life would be good. We can sing under the rainbows and all that bullshit, and this game will come out, but I really highly doubt it at this point. It's not. I hate being negative. I hate to succumbing to Wen's level, but damn it, I gotta be negative, bro. This shit ain't happening, bro. It's not happening.
Tripp had time today.
It's not happening, bro. It's killing me. It's killing me, man. Like, why could we just? I hate the state that we're in, because It's always about how do we keep people engaged enough to make them buy and stay on the platform? How do we get their buy instead of just, why can't we just put a good multiplayer game out? Or why couldn't we just wait till the third Last of Us and attach a new factions multiplayer mode in there? Why couldn't we have just done something simple like that? But no, it's the money game. It's the money game. It pisses me off, and it's the root of all just foolishness in this damn industry. It kills me. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. Speaking of that, another conversation. I don't even want to speak on this, but Capcom's president recently, he made a statement about video games being too cheap now. As he stated, development costs are about 100 times higher now, but software prices have not gone up that much. Considering the fact that wages are rising in the industry as a whole, I think raising unit prices is a healthy option for business. So, Nick, you want to speak on this briefly?
Who let him cook? Who let him type this up?
Because Capcom, you got too much dip on your chip now. Hold on there, brother.
Too cheap for who? Like for who? I don't like. Not for me. Like when you sitting here like planning your ramen noodle weeks because you got Super Mario Wonder and Spider-Man dropping on the same day. It ain't too cheap for like nobody. I get it. The development and everything else does cost a lot of money, but like. I think like $70 is, I mean, that even it took me a while to accept like $70 for a game because we knew like that day was going to come for a lot of stuff that they're adding to these games and a lot of like features and stuff like that. But I mean, what price do they want to put these games at? $100? Like the only game that I feel like could be worth $100 is maybe Grand Theft Auto 6 at this point. That's it. Not anything Capcom is putting out.
Not even that. I'm not giving them no ideas. Rockstar, shut your ears up. Don't even listen to what he just said. Don't even listen to that.
I'm not saying that for them to listen to me, but they put $1 billion into this game. They're gonna want to charge.
That's good for them.
Round of applause, right? Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, yeah,
you better keep that bitch 60 max.
But like, they're gonna try and be slick with that. I feel like they're gonna be the first people to try and do that. But Capcom, I think, just stop. Get back. Like,
why are you saying fuck Capcom?
I'm just saying, I don't know what they're doing to where they're saying that games are too cheap. I mean, like, I know you're like you're a Capcom connoisseur. Capcom captain.
They was doing too many audio kits and must have got high off their own energy right there. You better hold on.
I forgot my boy Wen. He sits up in his chair when you bring up Capcom. I'm sorry, bro, but like I'm just saying, your boy, he's coming in hot with this take. Like this.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I definitely spent $100 on Street Fighter because I did spend $100 on Street Fighter because I got the deluxe edition.
Comes out.
No, I mean but like most people when you buy a fighting game, like I say fighting games are low key overpriced because you have to pay like $10 per character for like DLCs and all that. So if they would have been like, Street Fighter's gonna be $100, but like all the content that I would have normally gotten like for having to buy the deluxe ultimate edition or whatever, I would have gotten with the game. I wouldn't be upset about it because I already just did that. I'm not justifying $100 for a game. Let's not think that. I'm just somebody who's already paid $100 for literally a Capcom game. So when he said that, I was like, he already got me. Like he already got my ass.
$100 to be bronze.
Like,
what can I say?
Whoa. Watch your fucking mouth, buddy. I'm platform. Thank you very fucking much.
I'm gonna have to see the receipts, bro.
I'll show you the fucking receipts right after this goddamn podcast. I'll post it on Twitter and I'll at you right there, buddy. My thing is nothing to be laughed at. Anyways, like I was saying, I see where they're coming from with like the whole like development has probably gone up extensively. But I am in full agreement. I love that you brought up like GTA would probably be the only game that'd be worth $100 because you know how much work and shit they put into this shit, right? And I agree with you that if GTA dropped tomorrow, GTA 6, and they were like it was $100, even if it dropped tomorrow, no announcement, like I found out tomorrow, I would find $100 to put on that game because I know that's just gonna be quality. But a lot of people don't put $100 into that game. I would not spend $100 on no Assassin's Creed a day in my fucking life. I wouldn't even spend $70 on those bad boys. Like certain games are just not worth that money. But I think that to some extent there will be games that will be that price, but it just comes down to like how willing are you to buy that game, right? How willing are you to put that $100 down? Me personally, I'm a waiter. I have a lot of patience. I'll work on the backlog until that bad boy goes on sale. Because the thing is, you can put the price up. That's fine. But if nobody buys it, you're gonna have to put the price down, right? Like you have to get that money back somehow. And it's not like we're buying physical games or we're buying digital games. You literally copy and paste the file. You're not spending money on producing cases and discs and all that stuff. No shelf life, none of that. Like that's one thing that they don't bring up that is kind of annoying is that like, if you would have told me tomorrow, hey, we're gonna make 2K instead of it being $70, we're gonna make it $60 or $50, but we're just not going to release physical copies, a lot of people would be happy with that announcement. Because that's really where a lot of the money used to go to back in the day. It's like, yo, you need to pay for shelf life, you need to pay for XYZ. Like people need to get their money back. Now it's on storefronts. Some people have their own storefronts. Like I'm sure if Capcom wanted to, you could PayPal one of them $60 and they'll email you the fucking game file. Like if they could get around the storefronts, they would. I do think games will continue to rise in price, unfortunately. Hopefully that means their quality will rise, but we will see, because there are games that release that are not worth the money that they're asking for. That's for damn sure. And I am not for the raise in price, but I do understand kind of where they're coming from. But I also think that they need to really work on the quality of some of their games before they can really start asking to raise the price another time.
Golem was like the main example of that, and I've always brought up that example because that was a game that was labeled as a AAA title game, and it ranked. Yeah. They got a 32 on Metacritic, and the game just didn't function at all. Platforming was supposed to be an aspect in the game, and it sucked. It was just boring. It looked like crap, and it came out that dude only put like 15 million into the game, and now they want to like charge the consumer more to like do what? Like if you're gonna charge us more, put that more back into the game and give us a good quality product. And then it's like, okay, we're good. Then we can start talking about like, okay, yeah, if we got to pay a little bit more than fine, but we're even paying $70 now, and some games still look like they're PS2 games, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Think of like Switch games. Switch games is a major aspect of that. They charge $60 for everything. Like they charge $60 for that Mortal Kombat for the Switch, and it looks terrible.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like you pay 60. They'll charge you like $70 for the Mortal Kombat on the Switch, and they'll charge you like all this, and it still runs at 30 frames, not even like 720. It's a nasty business. Like there is, I want to believe them, but I also know that y'all are not giving me the full truth, and that's the problem. It's like if you really truly gave me $100 worth of content with the game, I'd pay $100, but I'm not going to when I know you guys are skimping on somewhere something is not making sense. The numbers are not adding up. So like I agree, I see the logic, but I feel like you're lying to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and just wait for that game to drop to like $30 or Game Pass.
Hey,
Game Pass is always the option.
I'm gonna keep it a bean. This economy hella inflated, brother. I don't got it for you. President of Capcom. I don't think I got it for you right now. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, can we deal in IOUs?
They give me a 4K Monster Hunter World 2? I don't know. I might be tempted.
That's crazy, bro. Let me start my OF up, bro. This shit is ridiculous. I mean, fucking, I gotta get something up, bro. This shit is ridiculous, man.
Dick, is that what you're gonna call it?
Tripp toes.
Listen, bro. Subscribe now. Help me fund my gaming addiction, bro. Please, bro. Shit. And this is gonna only be for one game. I'm gonna open up, get $100, and that's it. I'm closing this bitch out.
That's tough.
That's crazy, man. Hey, man, gotta get with the times, man. Gotta get with the times. But hey, speaking of getting with the times, it feels like it was like a little bit old school the way this game got announced, but it was old school press release style, man. But the news is official. The Division 3 is coming. It's been fully announced, and the OG director of the first game and the creative lead for Star Wars Outlaws, Julian Garrity, is on the case for this one. Yeah, how do we feel about that?
This shit is gonna go. The gameplay is gonna go stupid double crazy on those Reddit videos that I watch on TikTok. Like that's how I'm gonna see a lot of this gameplay. It's gonna be
that's crazy.
I am male, 35M.
Not the Reddit stories. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, like that's like it's gonna be like that or Subway Surfers. I'm like, oh, that Division 3, what's he doing? Crazy.
Insane. So that's his stance. I'm about to say, Nick, you fancy some Division 3?
I never played a Division game, so I really ain't got no words, but I mean, it's coming for people who care about it.
Show me gameplay.
All three of them.
Yeah, show me gameplay. Your last one was
your last one.
Did the first one do really good though?
The first one
was solid.
Yeah, it was okay. It was at the time where like Destiny was hot, so like we were like kind of we were fine with another Destiny type, but like that was pretty much it. Like it was cool.
And I feel like the second one didn't make a big enough leap to like strike out to me. Honestly, I didn't really touch it.
Nah,
it's gonna have to be something special. It's gonna have to stand out a lot. Now with games coming out like this, we've been saying that's kind of been the topic of the show. Like, especially being a shooter too. Like you got to stand out.
Or drop in June, motherfucker. That's it.
It's Ubisoft though, so I'm not really holding my breath.
Now you know that one, but yeah.
Tripp talking about swimsuits and video games. He's talking about he needs to release the game in June. Like,
hey, listen,
go outside, man.
Don't question my motives. Don't question what I do. Hey.
Can't be at the beach every day.
I'm dead, man. All right, moving on to the next story here. So y'all remember that game, Gigantic? I don't know if you like again the one Xbox like game with the two giant ass balls on either side and the teams are fighting like a hero type game. No. Yeah. Probably yes. Awesome. Well, funny thing is, it might actually come back from the dead, as Jez Corden noted this past week that the third-person MOBA has a private playtest coming up, and then some people were suggesting the game could be revived under Gearbox with some refreshed features, but we don't know all that for now. But we know for sure that this playtest has happened or is happening. I forget the dates of that were going on, and it was like some update party or whatever. I don't know, but it's funny that it just came back after years. Again, I'll throw it to you, Nick. How you feel about that?
It's very weird that it's just coming back out of nowhere because it hasn't been talked about in a very long time, and Gearbox bringing it back is kind of weird. It's kind of cool for people that are like interested in this. I could really care less, but I feel like Gearbox really puts out some decent games, so it's worth to kind of keep an eye on. So we'll see what the playtest looks like. Playtest, like we'll probably see stuff from that. And
I had to double check it. Yeah, it happened already from the 5th to the 7th. I need to see what gameplay and stuff came of it, but it's just funny that people like played it again. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we rarely ever see any like dead IPs just have some random spring of life by the actual developers themselves.
I just don't like MOBAs. Except for Pokemon Unite.
This doesn't look like League of Legends. That's what you're worried about. This looks more like Unite. Like I would play this, but if it's Gearbox, they've already had a MOBA and that shit didn't do so hot. I was really excited for I can't even remember the name of it, but Battleborn, that's what it was.
Struggleborn? Oh man.
I was really excited for Battleborn. I remember skipping out on the Overwatch beta because I knew Battleborn.
Remember they went head to head?
And then Battleborn dropped.
That was savage.
That's nasty.
I was like, this game is awful. It sucks. All right, I guess I'll play Overwatch. And then I played Overwatch and I never looked back. This game looks good though. Like it looks fun. It looks interesting. I'm all for it. I'll definitely tap in. You get the homies on this. You guys could get destroyed and it'll still be fun. It'll be. I feel like this is more of a Unite vibe. I think like.
Here's the thing, bro. Is I need you on Unite. You can't be switching up. You just got.
I play more games than anybody here. I can multitask on the multiplayer games. You need to get on Unite. You get on Unite, then you tell me when you're on, and I'll check it out. I'll be like, all right, Nick, I'll jump on after I get off of some hot Gigantic. Is that the name of the game?
Yes.
Yeah. Some hot Gigantic.
That new hotness, man. I don't know, or old hotness, depending on who you ask. But hey, we'll settle that. We'll settle that. Pushing forward here. Apparently, Activision and Blizzard had a lot of buzz this week with some internal meetings. Apparently, again, things are starting to wrap up with this whole merger deal thing with Microsoft. James Corden just randomly showed up and made an internal meeting way worse than it was by his presence, because what else is new with him? And we got potential news on the revival of Guitar Hero, as Bobby Kotick stated, quote, "The reemergence of Guitar Hero and other things would not be possible without the different types of resources." And so, just the endless possibilities for the future that are just incredibly exciting. Probably speaking on, again, some of the AI capability, machine learning, all that other stuff that's coming out brand new. So a lot of eyes and potential thoughts on Guitar Hero coming back in the fray. How you feel about that?
That shit is not going to happen. I'm not going to lie to you. As much as I would love for music-based games to come back, big fan of Fuser. That game died.
Dang, Fuser, man.
That game was really good. That shit was nuts. I thought that game was amazing.
Shout out to Fuser. Shout out to SingStar. Shout out to the Go Rock Band. I already know what it is.
Yeah. Like back when artists were all like under one company and you could like probably get a bundle deal on those kind of things, it's like it was lit, but like I'm sure it's cost an arm and a leg to be able to license these things anymore. And I'm not gonna lie to you, unless you make those Guitar Hero guitars usable in the new versions, there's no way in hell you're gonna convince somebody who had all the old Guitar Hero guitars to buy a new one
Facts.
just to play the new Guitar Hero. They'd be like, bro, I have like 73 different guitars. And me personally, I'm not buying a Guitar Hero guitar. I don't have space for that at my crib. What am I gonna do that for? I'd rather just play one of the Guitar Hero clones that are online. The only thing that this makes me afraid of is for those Guitar Hero clones, because they may get a hot cease and desist letter now, and there goes that cool content.
Buddy, they about to kick in your door. They about to have you looking like Anthony Anderson in Transformers, thinking your grandma's house about to get raided. It's tough. But yeah, I will say I think it's cool that they're actually considering bringing it back. But my thing is, Rock Band was better. So what are we gonna do with this information?
Ooh.
It's up to you. It's up to you, honestly.
Pretty interesting take.
That is
a crazy take.
That is the correct take. That's
some would argue.
Crazy take, Tripp.
that is not a crazy take, bro. Listen, we had the whole gamut. Guitar Hero was mad late to the party. Like, oh, we'll put some more instruments in later. But I think
when they got to the party, they was kind of lit though.
Hey, listen,
like, that's the issue.
Listen. We can go song for song, man. Rock Band has some shit. They had some shit. I'm gonna be real with you.
That's why I know you guys aren't real rock stars. You guys are focusing on the wrong stuff here. All right, it's all about the way the guitar actually feels. When you played a Rock Band guitar, the way you strum didn't feel right compared to a Guitar Hero guitar. Man, it had a little bit of like oomph. It had a little bit of power to when you strum.
You focus on guitar strokes, brother. The hell's going on here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen, he said he's a real stroker. Okay, all right,
Yes, sir.
Okay, buddy.
I'm keeping it stacked with both of y'all.
Man.
I didn't own any of these games because my parents could not afford that bullshit. They were like, I gotta buy what for one game? Yeah, buddy, you can take that L.
Oh no, we were.
So I borrowed that shit from like a friend who was like, yeah, we don't play this shit anymore. Me and my brother borrowed it and started going crazy.
Yeah, I wish my co-hosts were real rock stars, but it's okay.
He wants us to be real strokers. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Super Saiyan strokers, man. Super Saiyan strokers. So listen. Here's the thing, man. I would love to see this, but like just kind of like how Wen stated, they're not gonna convince people to have to buy a new guitar. Like that stuff was about for a game and the guitar, probably about $100-something. Easily now it'd be $150 if they wanted to like combine that together. That's kind of a hefty tag. And if they can't even license a lot of these songs and put them on there, then they're in a world for hurting. But I'd love to see it. I would love for it to work and come back, because the only way to get Guitar Hero stuff now is if like you go to the thrift, your used game shops and stuff like that. And definitely the older ones still are great, but I mean, I would like to have some updated songs to rock out to. And you know, like the other rock bands and stuff too, you were able to buy like the DLC. They had like the tracks, like the DLC tracks and stuff like that. And that was always cool too. So if you liked a certain band, you could buy like all their songs, and it wouldn't be like super expensive. I used to buy all the Bullet for My Valentine songs. And yeah, I think they did like a SpongeBob spinoff and stuff like that. So it was very cool, and I'd love to see it revived, but just like realistically, I just don't see it happening, which is just sad. So.
Yeah, man. I think that probably, with given how the constraints of today are, the ship has sailed on all that type of stuff. But you know, yeah, well, maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. Who knows? But yeah, oh man, pushing forward here. The big rumor that we actually mentioned a little bit earlier in this podcast, but it's been surfaced that The Last of Us 2 is apparently being remastered as a lead outsourced artist role has been, it popped up on LinkedIn the past week. And it basically revealed the game's listing in relation to the role and all that stuff like that. And so it's apparently on the way. The Last of Us 2 remaster. Come on, guys. Yeah, how you feel about it? Yeah. The Last of Us 2 getting remastered. This is like totally new concept.
Whoa.
I'm not super upset about it, mostly just because my girlfriend really loves this franchise, and she bought Last of Us Part 1 day one when they remastered it on the PS5. Like that shit is in my PlayStation right now. And she will buy this day one as well because she really does love this franchise. I think it'd be cool to see it in like true 4K and all that, but I'm not paying money for that. So, like, I personally will not be paying for it. If she wants to do that, that's her financial decision. I will not judge. But yeah, I don't think we really need this right now. Because honestly, it's so new. They could just drop an update. They could like, oh, we just updated the graphics. Like that would be hard if they just said, yo, we're just dropping an update for the graphics. That would be so much cooler. But they're definitely gonna charge you full price.
Yeah.
For this.
Well,
Yeah.
it's time for the proverbial front udders of the PlayStation cash cow to, you know what I'm saying, produce some milk again. You know what I mean? Like it's disappointing, bro. It's disappointing to me that the market is so frail sometimes that they have to play close to the chest and they have to play the safe hand every time out. You know what I'm saying? Like Naughty Dog is like damn near landlocked. They can't do. They just got rid of Uncharted. They just said, "Yo, we finally stopped doing Uncharted, guys. We finally stopped. We're on to trying to do some other things." I don't know what it may be, but you know, who the hell knows? But they're just locked in this cycle. I don't know. I don't know how Neil Druckmann feels, but when their studio, like, you know what I'm saying, like they have to go back into these remasters. I wonder how he feels. And I wonder if it's like, again, like their own commission thing, or it was more of a mandate from PlayStation to be like, oh, hey, we need you to remake this shit in like 3 years, bro. Like, hurry up, get on it. Like, as soon as it comes, like, again, if they're developing this now, the thought and the conversation of it must have happened at least like a year or two ago. So, like, the game hasn't even fully settled into, like, you know, gaming history yet. You know what I mean? When the hell Last of Us 2 come out?
I'll look it up right now.
What was it, 2018, 19?
So here's where I'm at with it too. It's just like it came out 2020.
2020? Only 3 years?
Yeah, so when it comes to remaking games and remastering games, like I kind of have like a strict rule with it. Like I can understand like sometimes like the Resident Evil 4 remake, I felt like was very cool. Like I feel like they updated the graphics, they updated the story a lot, but they kind of also kept that same charm. Like that's a remake that I can kind of just get behind. It looked very good, it performed really well, and all that good stuff. With something like this, a game that's like, what can you update within a span of 3 years, 4 years? Let's say 4 years. Let's say it releases in 2024. There's not going to be that much as that changed. It's not like software and stuff really like made that much of a movement to where like, okay, it's worth to invest the $70 plus tax on The Last of Us 2. I haven't even played the one that I have. I have it for the PS4. It's not even out the wrapping yet. I'm sorry. But it'll get to it one day. I actually unfortunately haven't had a chance to play the Last of Us series. I know it's a really good series, but I have 1 and 2 that I just haven't got to yet. But I'd rather them work towards like fractions instead of working towards this. I just don't see where it seems like Naughty Dog could just do so much more.
Milk like those udders, baby. Jim Ryan said milk those udders. After
this though, like I feel like that's like Naughty Dog's last strike, because if they don't really push out like a new title, or if they don't really try and work on something else, it's just kind of a disappointment to me.
No, I tend to agree. Man. I'm just like,
dude, like you have Ghost of Tsushima that did really well. You could even try and do like a Ghost of Tsushima movie. You could do a Ghost of Tsushima 2.
They are, but it's just not their turn yet. And this is the thing with PlayStation though. They do their cyclical cash cow like ritual. Every few years, there's going to be somebody who's in the hot seat of being a cash cow, and everything you do is going to be for the sole benefit of cashing in on whatever time it is. It was Naughty Dog's turn around the time of Uncharted 4. You know what I'm saying? Or like between Uncharted 3 to 4, I feel like that's when they was like mostly, hey, you're dominant, you know what I'm saying, there. You gotta wait until the next God of War comes out, then wait until the next, such and such comes out. And it's only gonna get worse because, again, those shows are coming. Like the Horizon show's coming. Again, there's gonna be another season of The Last of Us that coincided with this, with this whole run up between Last of Us Part 2, the remaster of Part 1, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff coincides. And it's just, right now, it's just Last of Us' turn. It's Naughty Dog's turn again. You know what I mean? And it's just, they're not gonna let go because of the financial responsibility they have at this stage. It's not like by their choice, but I'm just saying that's how the system is for them, I believe. What my thought is, like, they're just in this point where they have to produce what they produce because they're the main breadwinner at this point in time. You know what I mean? Like the cycle of God of War is kind of worn off after, they had their run. Like, there's no more Uncharted's, there's no more this, that, and the third. They got to carry the payload for a time being until everything else comes into play. Like Spider-Man comes out in a few weeks, they got that. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's just a cycle of cash cowing across different IPs, and I don't think The Last of Us is going to get out of that anytime soon. I don't think Naughty Dog will be able to move out of that framework until, you know, probably in a couple of years' time when they get over this hump. And who knows? Maybe they'll go right back in on their own volition and do Last of Us Part 3. We don't know.
Just not a fan. Just not a fan, bro. Like I said it a little bit earlier, and it's like I just don't think the focus should be on this remaster. And I think even when they remastered the first one, it got a lot of backlash, and I think people were really looking at like the details of like what's the difference, like what are we really getting that's so much different than the first one that came out. And I don't know, man, like we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But I just feel like when it comes to this type of stuff, people get picky.
Being out here,
the only like justification I could see is if they're just like, oh, we're trying to wipe our hands with this, so we're trying to like future-proof all of the Last of Us shit because we're not coming back to this ever again. Like we're never touching this remaster again.
Right. So like get it out of the way now, and then when it comes like 2, 3, 4, however many years they maybe come out with The Last of Us 3. Like I heard the way, like I don't know, like I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't know how the way Last of Us 2 ended. But if they come out with the third one, or if they don't come out with the third one, it's like, all right, man, like we gave you guys updated versions that will run decently for the PS5 that may be out for the next like 2-3 years, and then it's like we can work on something else that might pique our interest. So I can agree with that too.
I don't want to spoil anything for you either. Like there is a good chance that 3 I wouldn't be surprised if a third did come out, but I'm not expecting it, is the best way I could describe that franchise. I think if it's something along the lines of like, yo, we know layoffs are coming, we need our entire team to work on the future of shit, we don't want to spend time remastering shit because maybe Sony wants them to remaster too for whatever reason, because the second season of the show is going to come out and we know it's going to sell. Like, so let's get this shit up, let's knock this shit out the park. But that's something they would need to communicate. That's something like, we want to do this so that we don't have to ever worry about remastering these games again. Whether we make a 3 or not, we don't want to have to come back to 2 after we've done it. We have the technology here, we can just do it right now, knock it out of the way, and then focus on other shit. Because then I'd be like, all right, cool, let's drop, then come out with 2. Let's get 2 out the way, and then you guys can focus on whatever the fuck I gotta focus on. But I definitely not really looking forward to it. But like shit, I feel like with that franchise, it's above us. Like it's not even, I don't even think they can decide that kind of thing. I don't think they can be like, hey, we want to make another Last of Us. I think it's more of like a executive kind of a decision. Yeah,
I agree, man. But yeah, I'm tired of seeing Last of Us, dog. Let's do something else. Well, unless it's factions, but do something else if it ain't factions. Move on. Damn. Killing me, man. All right, let's slide on to the trailer show real quick, just to run through some of the stories about unwatchable media, the TVs, the animes, and all that good stuff. Real quick, Netflix is trying to raise their prices on everybody. You know, at least they're planning to once the SAG-AFTRA strike is over. So how do we feel about them doing their usual, fuckery?
I saw it coming. It's not like it's like new. They've always raised their prices, and they're just trying to get every single penny out of people possible. They are definitely pushing pennies, penny pushing. Like I get it. So I mean, this is kind of like a thing where it's like, okay, yeah, we'll after this strike ends, we are gonna pay our actors and actresses more, but it's gonna come from us, but we're gonna also make the consumer pay more because we have to pay them more. It's a bold strategy.
Let's see if it pays off.
It's a bold strategy,
Yeah, it's a bold strategy, Kyle. Let's see if it pays off. So, yeah, I haven't had Netflix in a very long time. I've actually used, until they did that weird stuff where you can't even
password
share
share
anymore. Yeah, so I had Netflix for a little bit from my my mother-in-law, and now it's like we don't even got it. So I'm not even sweating. The only time I really wanted to go back to Netflix was I really wanted to watch Last Chance U again. But now I can't even do that. So I was disappointed.
Pro tip, you could watch on your PC and it doesn't count as a household. That's what me and my girlfriend do. We watch it on Discord.
Word.
Allegedly. I'm not surprised, but I'm definitely not surprised. It's definitely not SAG-AFTRA. I promise you that. It's definitely not fucking SAG-AFTRA. They could have not striked. If anything, they could have been like, we'll take a pay cut, and they would have still raised the price. They do not care. They're just trying to get this bag. Yeah, it's sick. They're sick. Netflix if it wasn't for this Castlevania and the One Piece, because I do be watching the One Piece on there, I wouldn't be a fan of this. But shout out to T-Mobile, because they definitely are picking up the bill on that one.
No, I hear it, man. Again, listen, I don't want to be the, you know what I'm saying, that type of guy, but, you know, everybody has a solution to this. Everybody who's done at least basic math up to the 2nd grade knows this. Go to your hands, start counting, get to 5, minus 2, and you have the solution. If you know, you know, allegedly. But anyways, I'm gonna move forward here. The Office is apparently getting a reboot. Do we? Yeah, let's just give me a yes or no, yay or nay.
Good. I'm good. I think like the thing is like, I mean, I love The Office. Like, I mean, like, come on. I mean, I love The Office. It's a good show, but like, why bring it back? I mean, like, this is just, I feel like it's a recipe for disaster. Like, I mean, it's just kind of like, it had its time, but I feel like that was a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, it's already been done, wiped our hands clean with it. Like, now we're bringing it back again. Like, it's,
the grip nostalgia has on some of these people's nuts and bottom lines is ridiculous, man. These people want such safe outcomes, bro. Just make good TV. Just make new shows that are good. Believe in yourselves.
That's what we've been saying. Like, I even brought it up with the Modern Warfare 3 maps. Like, they're just bringing up the older maps to the games that were successful back in 2009. It's like, yeah, this was successful then, but it's like, why couldn't we just get a newer show? Because people don't want to take a risk to watch something new or try out something different. Like, it's just like, oh, we know The Office is good, so we'll just watch it. And if it's getting rebooted, and you think it's gonna be the exact same show, no, it's gonna be different. A lot of these guys are older. They may look a little bit different. They may act a little bit different. Who knows if you bring back the whole cast? Because if you bring back like different cast members, it's gonna feel really weird too. Like, it's not gonna feel like The Office anymore. So I don't know. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good though.
I'm pretty good off of it as well. I mean, I've never been a huge Office fan. I know there's a lot of people who are like, hitting, crazy, right?
But
I think it's cool. I think it's like a cool show, but I also think that the show is already right there. There's not really much. I mean, no, I don't really think there's much you could really do with it that would really like, that hasn't already been done before. And also, I don't even think it's like people want more. People are afraid to try new things. It's more so like companies are afraid to make new things.
No,
I feel like there's some shows that came out that nobody expected to be bangers, and people were all over the show, things that haven't been done before.
Facts.
Like, I think that's one thing that I do like about HBO Max, is that sometimes they take chances on things that like people weren't really expecting, and then it kind of goes crazy, and you're like, oh snap, this is pretty good. Like, let's keep going with this. And nostalgia sells, unfortunately. Like, no matter what, you can make an Office show. This could be the worst written show of all time, and it will still make more money than some of the best written shows, just because people are like, oh, is Jim back there?
I feel like I'm reading a lot of this, man, and a lot of people aren't even really excited about it, man. Like, I mean, even people that are probably fans of The Office are probably just like, we're good. Like, we had our time. It's time to just move on from it. And who knows if you could even do like the same jokes from back then, honestly. Who knows? Like, you can't. Oh, you damn sure can't do any of that. Nah. So like, and like I said, they're gonna be a little bit older, a little bit out of their prime. I just don't see the excitement. Like, it's still a great show, but like seeing this remake, you kind of just get a little worried, man. You can't help it. So
yeah, man. Pass. Big pass. But yeah, moving on to some actually more interesting things here, some developments. So Marvel's been getting they shit cooked internally as they've been just revisiting their whole process for their TV shows and the production on that side. A lot of criticism has been raining down from the top, and they've been complaining that there's no central vision, there's not enough creative responsibility for the writers post production. A lot of film executives instead of actual showrunners and show writers were calling the shots, and people were shooting entire seasons on the fly instead of doing like a pilot and doing like an actual kind of show guide and then going from there. There's been a lot of loose on the go, very unstructured type of things for it seems like the most of the TV show rollout. And now we've kind of hit this impasse where Marvel's starting to put structure back into the process. The writers and showrunners are going to construct a pilot and all the show bibles and the guides and stuff and give more rigor to that process. Yeah, this is good, but damn, this kind of is an expose a little bit. I'm about to say, when ain't it?
I just want to say that they called me a madman. They said, hey, you gotta tap into this genre. I'm like, man, I don't really give a fuck. It doesn't look that impressive to me. Like, it looks like whatever. Now you're telling me that these people, and you know what it feels like? It feels like I didn't want to get on a roller coaster, right? I was like, I don't know, it doesn't feel safe. And everybody's like, nah, bro, promise, I promise. It's a really fun ride. Like, nah. And then I found out the roller coaster wasn't safe. And I get to be like, oh, you see, I told you not to get on that shit. And I know people are gonna be like, well, I didn't get hurt. That's not the point, bro. This is the problem. And I also want to point out the fact that I don't think Marvel decided to make this change on their own. I don't think they were like, oh, no, let's go back.
This is 100% born of the strike.
Exactly my point. Like, these motherfuckers, they would have kept getting away with this. They would have kept doing this for years if it wasn't for this strike. So, Marvel, you guys are quite sad. If the Marvel franchise was a horse, man, it would literally be ground beef at this point. The way they've been
straight glue, brother.
Horse meat is crazy.
But that's what it would be, because it's like every single, like, oh, Wanda and the Vision, Captain Falcon and the guy with the metal arm. Shit, what else can we do? Raccoon Boy and the tree thing, whatever. Like, that's what I feel like they're going. Like, how many more shows can we pump out of this? Like, come on, bro. Like, relax. Let's think of let's go to the drawing board and let's think of some new shit. And they're like, nah. They get to reboot The Office. We get to do a billion shows of side characters.
It's like, just bringing back like a whole bunch of stuff that's already been done that we just really could care less about.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but like the best show that I've seen that I was like, oh, this is kind of cool was like Moon Knight. And Moon Knight was pretty cool, but Moon Knight was not me getting Disney Plus to watch it. I promise. Like, I was watching it with other people, and if I missed an episode that week, I would just watch a YouTube video. I'd be like, I'm not gonna go and be like, yo, let me get the login. Like, I wouldn't even ask you for the login. That's how little I was like impressed by it. It was cool. It's awesome. Like, if you're a fan of the comics, but for me, man, I figured you guys could. There's no way you guys could put these many shows out that fast the right way. You guys were definitely skipping steps, and it shows.
Yeah. I agree, and it's wild because I'm gonna actually add in this story as well just to help, you know what I'm saying, tie things together. As an add-on to all these Marvel troubles, Disney Plus just kind of pulled scorched earth on the writers' room and all the directors for Daredevil Born Again. And, you know, they were like, hey, this show was not panning out how we wanted it to. Like, Matt Murdock wasn't going to be in the suit until episode 4. All the, like, side characters that made the show interesting on Netflix were gone. All the Foggies and again, everybody like that was, like, disappeared. Like, it was not looking good. So they just wiped the slate clean. And it just goes to show, unless there was due diligence on the part of either the striker or whatever, they would have gotten away with this. They would have kept pushing these mediocre experiences, bro. It's wild. It's wild, bro. I don't know where it hit me along the line, but I just stopped watching. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was trying to. I'm you know me. I'm an optimist. I'm gonna try and enjoy shows to the best of my ability. I'm gonna do what I can. I liked what I saw generally, but I felt like the fatigue and the amount of them pushing it out, nothing felt like it stuck. And that was outside of Loki, nothing felt like it stuck. And that's the only thing I would say. Outside of Loki, nothing felt like it stuck for that long. Like, I liked it in the moment, cool, but the more time passed, the more it was like, damn, I really forgot about that so quickly. Like, damn, it wasn't really anything like.
I need to know the stats of how many people rewatched WandaVision. I need to know how many people went back and were like, yo, let me go give that another playthrough.
None of these shows got another spin for me. Not even Loki got another spin for me. Like, that's the funniest thing. So it's just funny how all this is crashing down post-strike, and they're like, hey, we gotta fix everything because this is not good. We've kind of laid in this bed of cheapness and laziness, and this is where it's gotten us. Let's try and get some structure back in, you know what I'm saying, and fix it.
And the CEO of Disney has the gall to be like, hey, y'all are asking for too much money, man. We're barely breaking even. Like, yo, you're cutting out full careers out of the writers' room.
Facts, bro. You let executives go gung ho and film an entire season without one filming a pilot first to test it, and just like spending budgets of 150 million plus to get things done. Like, damn, no wonder I barely heard anything from Secret Invasion. I didn't even watch the show yet, and I don't care to right now.
Like,
which is
the
crazy.
idea of executives making these kind of decisions is like the owner of a restaurant firing the head chef, and then him telling the sous chef what he wants. And like that's what that was essentially. It's like
You cut off your own leg.
Exactly. And you're lucky some of these shows even turned out as good as they did, because if it shows how talented some of these people were, because without a showrunner, like, you don't understand how many things, like how many things that these people do to make these shows quality. But hey, at least we got that Hawkeye show. Remember that one? I'm sure everybody has the box DVD set of that bad boy. You gotta make sure you have that on physical. You can't lose that.
Only reason I remember anything from that show is because of Linda Cardinelli. If you know, you know. Just gonna put my hands up in there. Be honest. I'm sorry.
Nasty business.
Hey, listen. I'm a man of many virtues, and honesty is definitely one of them. So I'm just be real. I'm gonna put it up there. It's what it is. Lucky.
Shut up.
Oh shoot, man. All right, real quick. Over the past couple of weeks though, Netflix definitely announced they had some brand new shows coming to their animated division, and they announced one from the Capcom side. They have an Onimusha anime coming out on November 2nd. That's going to be an adaptation of the game, of that series. They're going to have a Devil May Cry anime series that's coming as well. We didn't get too much detail. And they also had a Lara Croft anime title, of course, Tomb Raider: Legend of Lara Croft. Got a little bit of a teaser and some animation show. But out of those three, what's standing out? How y'all feeling about it? Wen, I'll go to you first.
I need everything rated R. All of them. For various reasons, each one. But we're not going to dive into that.
Y'all are both sick.
Hey, what do you
need
mean?
a cold shower after
What
this
do
pod.
you
We'll
mean?
take a cold shower.
I have no idea what you're talking
Y'all
about.
sick. So the pod gets an hour and a half deep, and y'all just get a little nasty. You're just like,
No.
This is what the people came here for.
This is the no cooldown part of the podcast. I get it. Okay,
Hey, man, absolutely, man. This is provocative.
This
Ball
is what
out, man.
people
Hey,
wanted.
I'm just the guest, bro. Go ahead. Continue. Why it needs to be rated R. Go ahead.
Listen.
No, but in all seriousness, Devil May Cry looks insane. If you've seen the Devil May Cry anime that was already made beforehand, you know how dope that franchise is as an animated series. I think that it could honestly go really, really far. I recently just watched like a 4-hour video of like the Devil May Cry lore, because I was like really interested in it, and I think that it has a lot of potential. The only issue I kind of have is I'm a little iffy on the animation. I'm not a huge fan of the way Dante looks, but I also am not an artist, and I could probably really fall in love with it if I just give it a chance. So I'm gonna go in there actually with some optimism, which is really insane for me.
Wow.
And I'm really excited for the Devil May Cry series. The Lara Croft series I'm kind of interested in, because I've never really been too interested in playing the old games. I played a little bit of the first one that was like the reboot or whatever, and I do think that they're pretty good games. I just never really had super interest in playing them, because I was like uncharted out by that point. So I'm interested in watching the TV show, and I think it's gonna be dope. Onimusha is one that I will definitely give a spin to, because I'm definitely not playing the game. I didn't want to look into how to get that to work for me, so I'm definitely watching. So I'll definitely watch the shows. But honestly, W Netflix, but then you get the L of them putting the price up. Like, that's what sucks about them, man.
You'll do so much good, and you do some dumbass stuff like raising your prices like crazy, man. It made no sense, man. But yeah, Nick, any standouts from here?
I think that the Tomb Raider one and the Devil May Cry one are gonna be super dope. I feel like video game adaptations when it comes to the anime shows have done really well. What was the one, the League of Legends ones, the Arcane one?
Arcane.
That did really well.
Crack.
That one was good. And then Cyberpunk Edge Runners was also one that got some real heat. Like, just off of that, I'm getting a little hot. So
he's
just
feeling it now.
I'm feeling it. Hey, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I get how we work here. I'm getting how we work here.
Welcome.
Cold showers after the pod.
But no, seriously, like, I think that the shows will be really good. I can't wait to see. But like you said, like, I'm gonna have to find a way to get that Netflix popping over here to go ahead and watch. I definitely want to watch that Devil May Cry. I think that's gonna be some nice work. But I haven't even finished the Cyberpunk one, so I definitely want to go back and watch that. But overall, if they do it right, man, it's gonna be beautiful shows to watch. I'm watching them over The Office. I'll tell you that. I'm watching over anything that Marvel puts out. I'm telling you that. So
That ass, man. That ass, man. Yeah, 100%. I'm looking out for Lara Croft. Honestly, I want that one to be like action packed, rated R. Like I want to see how that animation kind of translates over to. I think that would be a dope. That would be a dope show. Hey, buddy, come
I'm
on.
not saying
buddy,
nothing. That was a hiccup.
Hey, okay. But no, I think that was dope. And all these is dope. Again, Netflix has been, ever since Arcane, I feel like they've been doubled down on anything like gaming adaptation. They're like, yo, let's rock it. Let's really go for it now. And they've been hitting a good stride with it. So I can't wait to see what these come about and how these turn out. So that's good. And speaking of video game adaptations, Cyberpunk 2077 has gotten the green light to go live action. And apparently they're pairing with Anonymous Content, who's a big, again, production studio. They've done The Revenant, they've done True Detective, they've done Mr. Robot. They got a veteran on the team as well, who's again worked on a bunch of early seasons of the Game of Thrones series. And you know, they're set to tackle a brand new story in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe. Listen, this I'm interested. I don't know about y'all, but I'm interested, man. And speaking of that, Nick, how you feel?
It's a star lineup. I think that's a star lineup. That's a hell of a team to work with. I've always liked the animated stuff a little bit better, but I mean, I think if anybody can make it work, it could be Cyberpunk, because I think the possibilities are endless. Especially for how they'll get the game as when, and then plus the DLC, like getting a revive, like for the actual game in general. So, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But I think if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be them. But if they could overtop what they did with the animated stuff, or kind of be on par, then Cyberpunk got a lot of good stuff going for them, because the game is back now. The shows are coming, and they could do a lot of stuff, man.
100. I'm not gonna lie. Like, who's gonna play Johnny Silverhand? Just
right. I'm kind of. The thing is too is like The Witcher. It kind of. The show was very good, but once the kind of lead of the show, he didn't come back.
Henry Cavill, no, he didn't. But that's because the showrunners are fucking idiots. They're stupid. But that's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Right. So it's like now it feels like they got to kind of make this show right for what it is, because The Witcher is kind of like.
Yeah,
not everybody's buying in anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like that's different because The Witcher was a set of books beforehand, so it's like there's actually something that CD Projekt Red went off of. I feel like for this, there wasn't really as much of like, you know, they crafted a lot of that as they built up the, you know, universe over the, you know, however many years they've been working on this whole franchise, like 10 plus 15, close to 15 years, whatever. So they have they're gonna play it close to the chest, and from what we've seen, again, from what I've gotten in terms of what people have been saying about the Phantom Liberty DLC and like Idris Elba and stuff, like they've gotten real good indications from it. What I've played at Cyberpunk so far, from my experience, it's good fucking story. It's a really good fucking story. So I feel it's easily translatable to live action. If there's anything that we've seen so far, this is definitely one of them that's really easily translatable, honestly, and it can do the job. So yeah, I feel good about it, honestly. But how about you?
No, I think it's gonna be dope. I still have to play the game and watch the show. But
we know.
Yo,
that's crazy.
I took a stand from that game, actually.
Yeah, you did. That's okay. You got a beast PC now. Just run through it.
No. I'm gonna run through it when the whole thing and the DLC is $60. Then I'll think about running.
That's crazy.
Until then, I'm not giving them full price.
He really trying to stand on business, bro. He's really trying to stand on business.
Yes, sir. I do not care.
We need to get through this backlog, bro. We need to get through the backlog. I think
I got 3 more Yakuza games, and then don't worry, I'll be through the backlog. But until these 3 Yakuza games are done, I'm working on the real gems. I'm working on the real fire. All right.
I'm dead. I'm so dead. Fair point. He's standing on business. I can't be mad at it entirely. Oh man. But speaking of some things that some people are mad at entirely, earlier today we had a brand new reveal at New York Comic Con that a new Dragon Ball series is coming, entitled Dragon Ball Daima. It's going to be on the way in fall 2024, and it seems to be focused on the cast. You know, basically all of them are getting turned back to children, again, like kind of like GT style, and you know they're on a quest again, fighting through some random adventures and hijinks and all that stuff like that. So how'd you feel about what you saw from Dragon Ball Daima?
I think it's pretty dumb, but I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm a shill for Dragon Ball at this point. It looks interesting because, you know, we all knew how Goku grew up, but like we get to see baby Vegeta. I think it's gonna be cute. I think it's gonna be silly. So I think it's, you know, I think it's gonna be fun. People who are upset about it, bro, this franchise has been going on for so damn long. Watch a new anime. If you're upset about this, like, you just watch a new anime until this is over. I promise you they'll find something else.
I literally hate people that get so upset over anime. Like it drives me nuts, bro. Like it's just a show. Like there's like probably 1 million plus animes. You can just watch something else, bro. Like I don't know why you're so pressed about it in general. Like I mean, like
Talk on it.
Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball has been doing different stuff for a very long time. Like you said, they had the spinoff with GT that a lot of people might hate, but I mean at the same time, like they had Dragon Ball. They had Dragon Ball Super that did really well. So I mean, like, I'm cool. Like, I like seeing them as kids and just trying out something different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Like, and I think we just gotta we gotta see what happens. And like with Dragon Ball, the possibilities are just endless. Like they've already had so many movies and so many shows. Like, it's just like it's only due time they just try everything and. It could be hot. It could be nice. I can see the vision, and I like the way the animation is for this, and like even just that trailer alone that I'm watching, it looks pretty cool. It can also open up a lot of backstory and like kind of fill in like stuff that we may not know about the characters that we kind of want to know.
Yeah, no, fair play to the people getting mad, bro. I ain't gonna lie, y'all are annoying as shit. Dragon Ball is going to do what Dragon Ball does. Just enjoy it or get out the way, in my opinion. And this is the thing for me. Seeing as I'm pretty sure it's like they said it's the 40th anniversary in next year or sometime this year of Dragon Ball as a series entirely, as an anime and stuff. I think it's a manga, just an IP in general. I didn't even think it's just like that. I think because I think it actually started in like the late 90s or some shit. I don't know. Or actually, no, early 90s, late 80s or some bullshit like that. I can't remember exactly. But anyways, this I'm going to watch. And I want to have fun because out of the main, series and all them stuff, my favorite is Dragon Ball, the OG. And I see Kid Goku, I see a power pole, and I'm like, yo, this looks fun. This looks like, this looks like a lot of different homages and a lot of different translations back to the original Dragon Ball in one way or another. And I think that's pretty cool. And I think that's something I would be interested in, and that's something that I would personally like. Now, if you don't like that, that is your fault. So you got to go pick something else to watch. That's not me. But I think this is a cool little fun series. If you want to get mad at it, awesome. Do you over that way in the corner? But I'm actually pretty interested in this still. It might be a lighthearted, fun, cool thing. It might actually get back to some of the roots of the OG Dragon Ball that I know. Again, it's not as crazy, and it's still gonna probably have action in there up to the hilt, of course, but it's gonna have again a lot of the soul of it, a lot of like the comedy, the hijinks and stuff like that made the OG Dragon Ball the OG Dragon Ball, and that's kind of the lens I view it from.
Especially if they're kids, dude. There's gonna be a lot of like mischievous shit. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like the direction that they're trending towards, not just to make them kids, but to literally kind of like create a bit of again, that edge back towards that spirit of the OG Dragon Ball when they were younger and when they had like times were slightly simpler, at least in terms of the power scaling, yes, but maybe they have like that spirit and that essence. It's more so of the Dragon Ball from again 40 years prior and that OG and kind of that celebration of where they came from. That's where I view it from. So I thought it was cool.
True.
Yeah, man. I don't know. If y'all hating, get off Dragon Ball dick, bro. That's all I need to say. But moving on, we got the main story here, and honestly, I just wanted to just bring this forward because in the time of consolidation, acquisition, all this stuff, this is pretty interesting. Disney, yes, the Mickey Mouse Corporation, the Mickey Mouse Mafia, whatever you want to call them. They have apparently been looking for a way back into the gaming space as a main, competitor, offering platform. It's some major fixture in the gaming space. And a lot of insiders have been hearing murmurs that they've been pushing, this certain idea to get them back on the map and get them back in the gaming space in a big way to Bob Iger and all them folks over there. They want to potentially acquire EA and set themselves up as a major publisher on top of the the outsourcing and licensing work that they already do. So they want to kind of take the reins back and be a powerhouse in gaming, so to speak, and kind of get in that lane more. How do you feel about that?
No, I don't want Disney involved in video games.
Oh my god.
You're telling me that the company that basically has a monopoly on entertainment, you want them to be involved in video games? No, they're going to set up another monopoly. If they acquire EA, That actually probably wouldn't be the worst thing if they stay in EA, but Disney isn't known to not buy shit after they already bought shit, right?
It's not like Microsoft isn't doing the same thing right now, though.
You're absolutely right. They are doing the same thing, and I don't like that either. I don't want either of them. I don't like it at all.
People thought I was dumb when I said the Activision stuff. Like, I mean, like, for the consumer, is cool, bro. But, like, we think of big business. We talk about this just the start. If they were able to buy all that, like, imagine, like, what they could do in the future. Like, that's just, like, an infinite pool of money, which is nasty and just, like, it's a tough look.
No, for sure. And I was the same. I'm right there with you because I was saying the same things. Like, this is really dangerous because once you start buying everybody up, you get to control the price of the market. And if they decide, hey, if Microsoft buys everybody and they decide, hey, you know what, games should be $100. They don't even got to do things differently like Rockstar to make a game $100. They could just make a game $100, and guess what? Either you buy the game outright, or you pay into their service, and they could raise the price of that. So like, I'm not a big fan of Disney. Like Disney acquiring EA, I would be happy for in the short term because EA, I feel like, doesn't really do much with their IPs and their franchises. I feel like they really kind of just like they've gotten complacent with their position, and they know that their franchises are so strong that people will buy their games regardless, even though they suck. Battlefield 2042, and they can eventually maybe fix it or just not. What's that one game? The one with the rockets, Rocket Hero or whatever they had. Listen, they could just pump out whatever they know. Yeah. They can just do whatever they want, and they know that it's gonna sell or move or whatever. And that's the issue I have with EA. If Disney bought EA, I think it would be a way better company. But my biggest fear is Disney joining a field and being like, you know what, we're not gonna do an aggressive tactic of expanding our reach, because Disney has so much money, it's not even funny. Like they are a huge company, so they could easily be like, you know what, we could just start buying up companies, and then it's gonna be like the war of like three nations. It's like whatever Sony didn't acquire, Microsoft or Disney owns, and that's what I'm afraid of. It's like I would like for Disney to fund some stuff, but if they become like aggressive, like, oh my god, it's gonna be raps for this, and then we're gonna have to find another medium to enjoy. We're all gonna go back to reading books.
That's crazy.
I don't know how to stream, man. Or not stream. I don't know how to read. I don't know how to read, bro.
You don't know how to talk either.
We're doomed.
All right. Get your shots in. Get your shots in, bro.
Oh man, but this is the thing that's getting me though. When I think about Disney, again, there's the monopoly thing that comes out, but then there's also this side of how much quality are you actually going to inject into the gaming space with your quote unquote expertise or ambition in gaming? How much are you really gonna do? And my guess is little to none. Honestly, little to none. It just feels like again, you're just gonna take over the name and just let it be more of the same, or probably restrict more of what's going on. Again, right now, Disney is in the most equitable position for all of us gamers. You license off the IPs that we want to use, we give you a fee, and you shut the fuck up. That's all we need. That's literally the best ordeal for all of us to get the best experiences and not be mired or bogged down by what Disney is trying to propose. Keep licensing, keep the arm's distance. You pay your fee, you let us do the work, you double check and say, hey, okay, it looks good, because you don't know what y'all looking at, and we move on. You know what I mean? Like, I just think right now this is probably the best position, because Star Wars, again, is Disney property, but Star Wars is thriving right now overall. Like, is it not in gaming? I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, overall, the Star Wars the Jedi Fallen Order series been going great. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least they had to turn around with the Battlefront stuff, but that kind of got shut down. But that's beside the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, Outlaws, it looked like people were interested in it. Whether we said we were like primarily interested in it or not, overall people were gonna buy those units. People were gonna buy that game because people are very interested in it. Like, that's doing good. Marvel stuff, anything Marvel licensed, again, you got Insomniac Spider-Man coming out in like a week, and that's gonna go crazy. You got the Wolverine thing that's gonna go crazy. Like you guys have a good system to where the people who are trusted to make these things happen, you're gonna put it in those hands and move on. I feel like if they do acquire EA, there's gonna be an onus for them to hoard more of their IP in one entity, and I don't think the infrastructure and capabilities of EA can handle all the IPs that they're willing to push out, and that's not sustainable in my opinion. Maybe they can still hold the model of where, you know, oh, they'll still license out even though they own a gaming publisher or whatever, but knowing Disney, they're probably going to want to try and conquer as much of the vertical as possible. You know, again, as much vertical and horizontal integration as possible. So they're going to try and push out as much in-house, in my opinion, as they possibly can, and not outsource that as much. I guess that's my guess. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, please. But if they do that, I think there's less chance of IPs getting to the other side or getting to different companies who are more capable of handling those experiences and bringing out a better product at the end of the day. So Disney, stay where you are. Don't acquire nothing. Just keep licensing. Stay put. Mickey Mouse, stay put, please. And that's my 2 cents.
I kind of agree to a point. Like, I know I was kind of like messing with Wen a little bit, but I do feel like that, like, if anybody should buy EA, it could be them, because I feel like they could also just make EA a little bit better. Like, if we look at some of the successful titles that EA has put out, they've been Disney related, like with the Star Wars stuff you said, the Jedi Survivor. I think they even had the Lego Star Wars, stuff like that. So like, I'm hoping that they could put a little bit more money into that to kind of have better titles. But that's like the only thing I could really think about. But other than that, yeah, it's just like they could just keep doing what they're doing and be fine. Like, they don't have to do it, but if they did, I feel like it could be like beneficial to both in a way, because I feel like EA gets a bad rap for everything anyways. So maybe a little bit extra money or a little bit of support is kind of something that they need to kind of revive everything that's going on. But we did talk earlier that I think you said that EA is kind of doing great right now. Like,
I think they're in a good position overall. Yeah, I do. I do. They're actually resurgent. They're giving their single players time to cook, and you know, again, Apex is still they're on a groove. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their thing, which they're never really gonna go away fully. I'm not interested in it right now, but of course they are. You know what I'm saying? They're still cooking. Battlefield's actually in a better spot than it was before, so they're generally on an upswing. They're generally on an upswing. There's some things I still want them to improve, but they are, and it makes sense why they're a viable target for Disney. But I just don't want Disney entering a space where they don't have the full picture of what they're going to do. And I feel like sometimes the ambition of Disney is it's a little bit outside of the bounds of what's executable. You know what I'm saying? And that creates problems for creating the best possible experiences for us, the gamers. We got to keep things at bay. And I feel like the situation now where they're just able to license things and get their fees or whatever, it enables the most, I guess, again, I keep using this word, but it's the most equitable spread of your IPs going to the right studios across the gaming industry, across all of gaming. And that allows you to, again, your IP is enriched, the game, the studio who's making the game is enriched, the gamers are enriched. And I think this is the best setup that we're at. This is the best point we can be. It could be a lot worse, and I don't want it to get worse.
I agree. That's best way to put it, honestly.
Yeah. Damn, man, I ain't gonna lie. Damn, that was kind of a good point right there. Yeah, that was from the heart, son. That shit came from the solar plexus. Real shit, man. Real shit. I would say. Oh, when how you? Yeah, I'm about to say.
We're gonna be playing a bunch of like Disney battle royales.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! No.
I'm manning Goofy for sure.
I'm so
it's
dead.
Definitely gonna be. Yeah, I like it's. I can see them doing good, but honestly, there's nothing you can really do about it. Like, what are we gonna do? We could just not buy the games, but they have so much money. We could not pay into Disney right now, and they would still buy everything up.
Fine.
Yeah, like all we can do is hope for the best.
I really just don't want to see that this culture of just buying. Like, as soon as the Activision stuff happened, everybody immediately was like, PlayStation has to go buy Square Enix, or they have to buy. And it's like, no, they don't. Like, this isn't like what we want. Like, this doesn't turn into a buying fest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather just like people focus on their individual things and they make their individual things better. Because we kind of just talked about with like Marvel, like Disney owns that, right? And all the problems that they're having with that.
Yeah, man. It's just Disney, sit your ass down. Don't do too much, bro. Come on, relax. That's
Don't
really
do too
it.
much.
That's really all it is,
I
man.
like that. That's a good term. Don't be doing too much.
Honestly. But yeah, with that being said, that's all we got on the notes for today. Yeah, anything that we might have missed, any of the stories that we didn't catch from the week?
The only thing that I'm kind of hyped for is Earth Defense Force is getting a 6th game in the franchise.
Really?
Pretty hype about that. Yeah. Fighting giant ants and giant spiders.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
shit.
playing that day 1, spring 2024. But other than that, no, not really.
We can talk about Madden.
No, we don't think.
Let's not talk about Madden. Let's turn that off.
I don't think many people want to talk about Madden right now.
promo? Question mark?
Oh my gosh! If you don't get that. I'm so dead. But yeah, that's all the notes we got, man. But let's bring it home. Let's close it out. Let's start with, you know what I'm saying, the guest of honor. You know what I'm saying, the man who finally graced us. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Ohio Man forever, Nick Tanner. Please give us your closing notes.
Hey, man. First off, I want to say thank you again for having me on the show. Thank you, everybody who listened to the No Cooldown podcast. Like Tripp and Wen said earlier, man, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, rate 5 stars, everything you got to do on the podcast, because this is a great source for gaming news and nerd culture news, man. I appreciate being around good man Tripp and hater Wen. It's been an honor, man. I've really been wanting to be on the pod for a very, very long time, man. I love these guys to death, man. So it was only a matter of time before we got on. But for me personally, guys, if you guys want to check out any more of Nick Tanner, like I said, I do critique video games and do video game essays. So if that's something that intrigues you, make sure you guys check out the YouTube at You Love Nick Tanner. Is pretty much all my socials. So I tweet about video games. I stream on Twitch. So if you guys want to see the Liza P and see what Wen is missing, you can check that at twitch.tv/You Love Nick Tanner. But other than that, man, it's been a great podcast. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, absolute legend, man. Absolute legend. The feelings mutual. We finally got this man on the pod. I'm just glad we finally ticked off this damn, you know what I'm saying, the box. It's been literally sitting up in the rafters for so long. I'm finally got to be able to just, like, again, get it in. You know what I'm saying?
Feels good, man. It feels like a weight's been lifted off our shoulders.
You know what I'm saying?
It's been due, man. It's been overdue for sure.
100% won't be the last time neither, man. So listen, we appreciate it, gang. We appreciate it, honestly.
I'll be back for the Madden episode.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Don't count on the Madden episode. We'll do something else. Yo, Wayne, give us your closing notes, Brody.
Drink water, play good games, not bad ones. Enjoy life. Also, make sure to follow Nick. He's a pretty funny guy. Pretty okay at Unite. I definitely have to do a lot of scaring, but
hey,
he has a good heart.
Pretty okay Decidueye, man. Don't let him. Don't play the audience, man. The Decidueye plays are nasty.
The jury is still out on that one, but you know, we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because he's
man. When you team up with Ace, man, it's like you gotta carry him, and then Wen's over there being too aggressive, bro. Like it's hard for me to cook, man. Like the whole staff needs to get in line before we blame the Decidueye here. All right.
I'm so dead.
I've seen you move around with that chameleon, man. You're a little rusty on the joysticks, bro. Let's After this, man, I'm gonna need a little standy session. Wildin', man.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, up there. My closing notes is, if there's anything else that you don't take from the podcast, make sure you take this. Whatever you do in your life, make sure you stand on business, all right? Make sure you stand on business. That's all I got. That's all I gotta say, man. You already heard it. Rate it 5 stars everywhere. Do what y'all gotta do. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We back on the damn grind. We back on the damn groove, the rhythm, all that, whatever you want to call it. We here. Yeah. And with that being said, this has been episode 77 of No Cooldown Podcast, and we are out of there.
Later.